Command C or command what's that? Command comma.
No, it's not a setting in
Command
Zoom.
comma.
It'd be like a global setting.
Oh, well, deal with that later. Fuck it. I did. So it asked me like I like deferred everything when it was logging in because like I need the fucking computer to be up and running.
Well, that's good.
All right. Well, I tried to get
Keith
on here.
just bypassed all the important things that he should confirm.
No, I did half of them. It was just like
Oh
there
yeah,
was like
well yeah, he did half of them.
well, I tried to. It was like do a fingerprint, and I'm like sitting there tapping my finger on the. I don't. It didn't. I assumed it was the touchpad, but I don't
Did you at
fucking.
least log in with your iCloud account?
I did, but what's really annoying is like it wants you to have a separate password for your Mac versus your iCloud,
Yeah.
and then it asks you independently for different passwords at different times. I'm like, which fucking one do you want? Because it's like not super clear, and I get my brain like my brain doesn't read like the way it's worded is like, are you talking about the fucking the Mac password, or are you talking about my Apple password? Because I don't know. So then I'm just typing everything in
Well,
twice.
that's why you just add the fingerprint authentication, and then you
Or
only ever have to use your fingerprint, and you don't even have
I'm
to think about your
I tried. You
password.
should
I'm
have
hung
saw me
up
there
on
for
him
like.
using the touchpad for the fingerprint authentication.
Yeah,
and
no, I don't know where I was
I'm
supposed to put my
sure
thumb.
there is a spot for your finger.
And I think there
Oh,
was,
you were
but
touching.
like,
You were touching the touchpad.
yeah, because I was so rushed to get on it because like this thing has been I've been waiting 3 days for this thing to deliver. Like it was supposed to come Monday when I was off work, and I think I hit enter, and then it like I think it showed me where I was supposed to touch, and like I was in such a hurry to get to the next screen, and I just kept touching it, and it definitely didn't do anything. It's the cursor just kept moving a little bit because
It's not. It's not.
yeah, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's. I think it's somewhere on the actual computer.
Yeah, it's up on the top right or the
Oh,
top
yeah.
left. I don't know
know.
where they put it
Well,
It's
anymore.
the top right.
Good thing
Yeah.
I didn't touch either of those
Listen
at any
up.
point.
Put it on the trackpad.
Yeah, that was.
Next time, try the middle of your screen.
So it's a touch.
Wait, on the password field on the screen? Yeah, got it. Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
did you not
Keith.
just put it up to the webcam?
Yeah, it needs to
Take a
take a
picture
picture
of
of your
it.
thumbprint.
That's actually good. Good one, Joey. Haha.
Oh my
right.
gosh, that's so funny, Keith.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
But
So your guys' episode Thursday will release. You'll record another episode next week, and then this one will release
tonight. No. Home Gym Com's coming out Tuesday. Like there's no point of keeping this one in the bank for a month. That's stupid. So
Oh,
this will come out immediately. This will be the first episode. Joe's
so
episode will come
everything's
out.
gonna be pushed back a week.
Yeah, I've already fucked with the spreadsheet.
Oh,
Like,
no
it
one
took me,
checks that, Keith.
It took no. It took me fucking forever to figure out the dates because I was like, wait, I'm doing this one today. I'm doing this one tomorrow, but everything's shifting. But I can't just copy and paste because it's weird how it's shifting. So it took me a while to figure out the dates.
Well, you are the one that knows the spreadsheet, so
I do. We're good now. I just don't know Apple yet.
we'll get you there.
I'll know Apple for too long. All right, we're wasting too much time, boys.
Well,
Let's
no,
get
we
on
got
this.
we got great gold content for the pre-show.
Yeah, and you're gonna only use like a tenth of it because you like to be this big person that picks and chooses all the good content. I told you about the whole post show.
There
in
were
last week's
20.
episode.
There were like
And you put,
20 to 30 minutes of us
I know,
just
it was
rambling.
gold. It was gold.
It was not
it's
gold.
literally the funniest part of the episode.
No, I talked for 5 minutes straight about having diarrhea.
Oh no, it was
while Tanner and Tommy were in town, and no one had any reaction on the Zoom call. And I was like, I'm not putting this in the post. Keith's like, it was great. I was like, I don't think anyone thought it was funny.
Laughing. I was laughing.
Well, I'll release a secret tape for
in
the Discord of just my diarrhea story. Then
that was the joy. That was like the one highlight of my travel was. All right. Nate, go away. We got a podcast to do.
Oh, I'm having fun. I'm having fun.
Then stick around, but I want to get it going. So
no, I'll leave you guys to it. Have so much fun, guys. Hopefully,
Thanks,
Keith
brother.
doesn't mess this up.
Thanks, Nate.
What are you gonna come back? Do you want me to just text you when it's over? You're not like I don't want to switch over host privileges because last time we did that.
Just text me. I'll be around. Hopefully, unless you go to like midnight, then I won't be.
No, if this goes past 10, I'm hanging up. Well, okay. 10:30. We can go.
He says this every week, guys. Don't believe him.
I know, and then we go to fucking midnight, but we're not doing it. That's why we started early. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna start the intro here. So, and welcome back.
And welcome back to.
God damn it, Joey. Back in a fucking
okay, bye.
Okay, boy.
Honk, honk. Honk, honk.
And welcome back to episode Home Gym Con 3 of the Unpaid and Underrated Podcast, a podcast by crew for crew. I am one of your hosts, your only host, your main host this week, joined by a whole gaggle of silly geese here. This is Big Keith, and I'm going to go around the room and introduce you to everybody. We got Mr. Big Hogan.
Howdy, howdy.
We got Big Justin.
Yo.
We got Big American Joey E.
Ahoy hoy.
And we got first appearance on the Unpaid and Underrated podcast, I believe, Big Brandon.
Hey everyone.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your busy week. I know we all just had a hell of a crazy weekend and had to dive right back into that work week. And I appreciate you guys carving a little time out to come do a little crew talk with us, do a little crew home gym chatting. We can breeze right through this if no one's got anything special. But is anybody drinking anything they want to talk about?
I just have a peach pear LaCroix and the drink spotter chill.
The drink spotter chill. I did get my hands on that this weekend. It was neat. It was neat. I may or may not pick one up this summer, but it was kind of cool. I think someone had it at their booth. I don't remember who it was, but it was pretty cool. I did see it in person and got a feel for it. So I just got I think it's the last Wegmans flavored water, the mandarin orange one. I set it aside because I knew I had to record. Shit, that means I don't have one for tomorrow. Son of a bitch. I want to pick up something for tomorrow. But we got it tonight.
I also have a drink spotter chill with a crispy IPA from Missouri in it, and it is called. Y'all ever heard of that? Boucher.
No, that's a new one.
Little boosh.
Yeah,
Boosh latte. I haven't had one of those in a minute. If those were like if they like just sold those for like $2 drafts or something, I'd drink a hell of a lot of those potentially. But I don't see them in bars a whole lot. But I guess they are. I don't really do bars very much. So all right. That's what are you drinking this week? I'm gonna kick off. What are you wearing? Because I'm pretty happy with my new shirt. Picked up a ton of shirts this weekend, but the one that was rose to the top for me was Big Barbell Rescue. Big Kim over there. The shaft cleaner shirt on the back. So it just says Barbell Rescue on the front. Nice clean cut logo. And the back has got a vulgar adjacent logo. That's just a hand on a shaft. It's a shaft cleaner, I believe. So I think we all chatted about that a little bit at dinner there on Saturday night. It was kind of amusing. But I'm a big fan of the shirt, so we'll rep Code Unpaid there at Barbell Rescue.
Yeah, I've got the Massonomics 7-year anniversary tee in red with red logo. Pretty sweet, classic.
You know what's wild is like I remember like I feel like that shirt came out yesterday, and it's been like over 3 years now, or coming up on 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they hit their 10 year or not yet, but like that's not a new shirt, and I just feel like we just got it. But it's pretty wild. Brandon, what you rocking, buddy?
I got the newish lifting department. It's
Crimson and Cream.
Yeah, Crimson and Cream. Yep.
There you go.
It's classic. It looks good.
Big Mini. All I can see are your traps. What do you have on underneath your traps and your beard, bud?
Well, it's summertime. So in the summertime, I pretty much don't wear sleeves if I'm at home. So I just got a SBD tank top and some pizza shorts from Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat.
Nice. Big Dr. Hogan, what you wearing, buddy?
I got a gifted shirt from the Dodzilla.
Nice.
It's a custom shirt with my name on the back in honor of my deadlift.
I love it.
Well deserved.
That is a good one. We can get into all your lifting here in a little bit because you're one of the. I think you're the only person on the podcast. Yeah. Depending on, regardless of whoever joins, you're the only person we have lined up tonight that did participate this weekend. So I do want to pick your brain about that a little bit later, once we actually get the guests on the horn. But for now, I think we can. Usually, this is where we would rate last week's Massonomics episode, but things are going to be a little different because this is recording. I'm recording 2 episodes this week, one with the crew tonight, and then I'll do a regular episode next week. So everything's going to be kind of shifted a week. So I don't know. Eventually we'll get on track. But for tonight, we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to rate a segment of their Tammy and Tanner's. Nope, that's not their names. Tommy and Tanner's most recent YouTube video, which was like video 1 of hopefully 3 or 4 at the home gym con. And there was a special guest appearance. A little in-depth rogue. Mastermind here gave a significant amount of information. A little backstory on that is, when I got there, Tanner was like, "Hey, do you want to be in the Rogue video with me and just kind of shoot the shit and show me some stuff?" And I was like, sure, it sounds fucking awesome. We go over there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tell them about all the barbells. I'm gonna name every single barbell. I'm gonna do them blind. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna know everything. Any type of like little shit I'll know about. I go over there, and they have like 6 massive cable machines that are all a little bit different. And I'm like, I don't know fuck all about any of these. And I was like, big Joey's your expert. So we got big Joey mic'd up, and then I was just the asshole in the background, just trying to basically photobomb him as much as I could.
That was so funny.
That was
And
great.
actually, I forgot that I did the reverse hyper because my back really did hurt. But I didn't like it was the Scout reverse hyper, and I really didn't want to like put my feet in the straps with no weight. So I was like, I'm just gonna lay on the table and just do like air reverse hypers. And I was just doing that for like 10 seconds in the background, and I just kept seeing my body just pendulum up and forth. Oh, I enjoyed that immensely. But we'll kick it off with Brandon. I want you to tell me anything you thought about that video, and we need a 0 out of 5 rating of some sort from you.
Well, the first thing I did notice that I was going to bring up that you just did was you in the
Oh.
background, just like nonchalant walking around, almost like photobombing the video the whole time. So I got a pretty good chuckle out of that. I actually forgot that Robo and I were both in the video too, because I didn't, you just weren't paying attention to what they were recording. But either way, the video was really good. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5. Keep photobombing the mess. Can you hear me?
Oh, yep. Sorry, I'd switched over my headphones. But Big Manny, what'd you think, buddy?
Well, I knew what was going to be happening. I didn't know the extent of what was going to be happening. And the amount of times I was laughing whenever I'd look at my screen and I'd be like, there he is, just randomly in the background, just popping up out of places. And I was just giggling, trying to make sure I wasn't going to shake everything around him too much. Uh, but yeah, it was kind of funny because having gone to the Rogue warehouse before, I have to say I got more information from Joey than I got from the people at the Rogue warehouse at the Arnold. So it's not a it's a look for Rogue. It's definitely a look for Rogue. And because of that knowledge, I mean, he knew prices, he knew specs, he knew how much you had to order to buy a reflex leg extension. So definitely got to give that 5 creepy Keiths in the background out of 5.
Love it. Big Hogan.
I have not watched it yet, but as someone who is at the Rogue HQ once a week, I am well familiar with everything they have there. And also get as much help at the Rogue HQ as you could get at the booth. But nonetheless, I think I can speak highly of. It must have been a great video. Joey American E was in charge, so that will get 5 knurled colored handle options out of 5.
I did like the aluminum stuff, how light that was, but like when you're putting the aluminum on the massively heavy bases, like it's still a very heavy attachment because like that's what I did notice about all those attachments.
Well, let's see. I think I'm the most unbiased of the group. I thought the gentleman they had representing Rogue did a fantastic job. Seriously, while we were filming it, I could see Keith out of the corner of my eye, but I was so focused on like what Tanner was asking me and like what we were gonna go see next. I wasn't paying attention. So when I watched it on the actual video, I was just cracking up the whole time. It was the funniest thing I had ever seen. So for those reasons, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 Bill Henningers.
Oh, damn it! I was gonna rate. I was gonna I was gonna do it at the Henniger scale. Yeah, I already kind of shared my thoughts about it, but I forgot to give it a rating. So we will go ahead and go off the cuff here and go 5 out of 5 big ass cable machines that I don't know what the fuck the names are. And that is pretty much that. Anything in general topics, unhome GymCon related that is time pressing that we should chat about? I didn't see too much, and we might cover it on next week's episode, I guess, so we can just kind of hop right on. So if Big Brandon is ready, if not, just tell me. We can wait. You ready, buddy? You got a little
Ready?
Massonomics? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
You
that
can
time.
add voice.
And-
All right. Have you ever wanted to go to home gym con, but you don't have any lifting buddies that care about home gym equipment? Or maybe you don't have any friends at all. I have to tell you something. Stop being such a stupid, pathetic loser. Join the Massonomics crew with the supporting. These guys have levels for any budget. You can join in the fun and home gym con, compete in strongman or grip challenge, meet your favorite influencers like Big Keith Huntington. Heck, we'll even get invited to Crew Falls for some winter partying with Big Tommy and Big Tanner, or the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic for some lifting and drinking. So what the hell are you waiting for? Sign up to our awesome Massonomics community. Let's go to Flavortown and ride mechanical bulls off to the sunset. If you're lucky, you'll even meet Big Keith and be on Unpaid and Underrated with him and Joey. Use code UNPAID, save 69%.
Yes.
Very good.
Do not fact check our math over there. We are not big math, but that sounds good to me. I should like all of our codes. Like, it's nice. Like, I mean, whatever. They're all between like 3 and 10% or whatever. But like, if we just like across the board, just go 6.9% just for the parity of, and save 6.9% or whatever that is, or I get 6.9%. That'd be nice too. But yeah, well done. So I'll get my, guest run horn. Yep, we got Big Minnie, Big Joey, Big Brandon, Big Hogan. We might have a couple other crew guests join in a little later if their nights kind of free up. If not, there's a solid crew. We can definitely burn through some home gym con talk. Do we want to talk about travel first? Just see. I didn't have fun travel, but let's hear about someone who had good travel first. So Hogan, what'd you have? Like a 2.5 hour drive or something?
Yeah, it was rough. Like there was at least a backup that was like 45 minutes. We were delayed. Oh, it's terrible. No, it's like 3.5 hours, four
Okay.
hours. It's super easy. Nicole drove it. I just chilled in and
Oh, that's
ate a
dope.
Jimmy John sandwich and hung out. We got there. She dropped me off. I got to sneak my way into the convention hall late at night and weigh in and got
Oh,
to
on Thursday night then, right? Okay, that makes
yeah,
sense.
Thursday night we snuck in and got a sneak peek. So it was all easy on my end.
Love it. That's perfect. Perfect. Big Joey, do you have any issues getting there, buddy? This will be the last time you have an easy trip there, right? So, did you enjoy your sub massive $1,000 trip to get there? That's going to take you all day.
Yeah, it was just a short 2 hour drive for me.
Not bad.
Real easy, straight shot. The only downside is for that drive, I was in Indiana for most of the way, but next year that won't be a problem.
Nice. Big Minnie, how far you're coming from? Where are you coming from?
Illinois. So I
That's-
pretty much came
Oh, you're in a
past
hall.
Joey's house.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty straight shot for me. You just get on one interstate and stay on it till you get to all the way to Louisville. The only downside was I completely forgot about the time zone change. So I was going to come out and get Tanner at the airport. And he says, "Yeah, we're going to land at like quarter to one." I'm like, "Oh, perfect." And then he goes, "Oh, never mind. We're landing at noon." I'm like, "Oh, okay. 3.5 hour drive. We'll leave at 8:30." I'm like, "Oh, wait. There's an extra hour in there." So I have to leave at like 7 to make sure I got there in time. But we got there so early, we sat there like like an asshole sitting in the Uber parking, waiting
Nice.
for him to land.
Wait,
But
so
other
you
guy
just
didn't
had
drive the rest of the weekend.
yeah. Now we were so you, your partner, and Tanner were all in your little and have you got a larger car since last time you were on the podcast? I think you like made up didn't you make a point that you have like a small a very
Yeah,
small car?
I got a Prius.
Yeah. So how
And let
was
me say, Tanner sat in the back seat, and I do not believe he was terribly uncomfortable.
Oh wow, that's impressive then.
They have a lot of space. They just don't have any get up and go.
Gotcha. Well, that's
Yeah,
saves you on gas.
I used to own a Prius. The back seat has quite a bit of leg room. The only problem is like the side to side space.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's definitely a two-person back seat.
I mean, it's got to be fit a little bit. I mean, since he doesn't have quads, it can't be that much leg room like needed, right? And then Big Brandon, we all know you just live in a suburb, so nobody wants to hear about your 15-minute commute there, you prick.
Yeah, I walked and it took like
Yeah, bet you did.
it was pretty rough.
Nice. So yeah, I think Brandon's our only local. I think you're the only person even from well, I mean, crew wise, probably one of the few Kentucky crew I think we have. So yeah, that's my travel. I think I've shared it mostly in Discord, but I'll quick little recap if no one's been listening. Planning on coming out Friday morning. Every year, every home gym con in the past, I've always come the day before. Like traveled in the day before, just so I was ready to hit the ground running. But just trying to save a little bit of money this year, save an extra day of vacation, save an extra $200 in the hotel room. Just overall financially conscious decision. Um, at 10 o'clock at night when I was getting ready to fall asleep for a 4 a.m. wake up or 4:30 wake up, whatever, to basically be at the airport at 5. Got a alert that my first flight was going to be 2 hours delayed, was going to miss my connection. They rebooked my second flight for getting into Louisville at like 3:30. I was like, well, fuck you. That's literally eats my entire day on Friday. So scramble real quick, find another option at a different airline that's still going to get me into Louisville at 10:30. Awesome. Okay. Looked at the prices, upped my tickets from like 400-ish dollars to 900-ish dollars. I said, fuck it. It's going to be worth it because it's going to get me 5 extra hours at home gym con that I wouldn't otherwise have. And I would basically buying that time back, $100 an hour to hang out with you fuckers. So I was willing to do that. Cool. Do that, get to the airport, first flight, no issue, land in Washington, immediately fucking get off and see. Actually, I think even on the plane, I was able to message with my wife, and she was telling me, Big Stephanie, that is, that my flight looked like it was going to be like 4 hours, like hours delayed, that it was like a 5 hour flight when it was really like an hour and a half, 2 hour flight because they didn't update the departure. They just kept pushing back the arrival of in Louisville. Like, this doesn't make any sense. So, like, walking to the gate, sitting there for a couple minutes, the lady at the desk didn't have any clue. You could tell I was like the 400th person to ask her. Then we're sitting there, and basically they finally updated it with like a fucking 5 hour delay, a 4.5 hour delay, whatever the fuck it was. It was supposed to take off at 10:30. We took off at like 1. No, maybe we boarded around 1. We still didn't take off till after 2. Maybe it was close to 2. So yeah. One saving grace of that is big James Robo actually was texting, like, we were both, I didn't even know he texted me when he saw in the Discord that I had basically like was explaining my travel woes without even knowing what airport I was at, and he was like, there can't be another asshole that has like this 5 hour delay and has it like to where it came in like the arrival not moving but the departure did or whatever. So he was like, are you here? And I was like, yeah. So we ended up meeting up like a few minutes later and ended up hanging out and grabbing some food together and just shooting the shit for hours. We probably could have had a good podcast because like it was just so much just shooting the shit. But then like 2 hours into like a 4 hour layover, I don't think we talked anymore because it was like, all right, I am all talked out. We think we've gone through each other's life stories. We're good. But yeah, it was just a shitty trip. Finally landed in Louisville. I did feel bad because James had a bunch of carry-ons or a bunch of checked bags, and he was like, "These might take like 20 minutes to just go because we're gonna Uber over together." But I was already losing daylight. Like, it was literally like had 2 hours left to get to the expo and like enjoy anything of Friday at all. So kind of felt bad because I left him there. But I just had him drop me straight off at the expo, and I fucking just ran in with my suitcase and just dropped it off at Barefoot's booth as soon as I saw them. They were gracious enough to just sit it there and. But yeah, that was my travel. Not the most fun. It was even worse on the way back. But I can maybe wrap up with that depression story because that'll just keep us in chronological order. So Hogan got there Thursday. Joey, did you get there Thursday or Friday?
Thursday.
Nice. Did you guys end up? Was there did you guys end up doing a dinner Thursday night? Did you guys did you actually meet up with some crew?
Did meet up with some crew. Big Dr. Hogan organized the whole thing, so of course he couldn't make it.
Oh, you missed it.
But yeah, we met up. So Big Carp was there. Not big Jeff was there. His wife Perrin was there. I'm sure I'm forgetting other people. There's a couple other people with us. And yeah, we just had like the old spaghetti factory, which was like right outside the convention center.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty decent.
Good
Yeah,
deal.
good dinner.
Deal. All right. Well, I know Justin came in Friday. Brandon probably got there. Did you help out Kurt at all Thursday night, Brandon, or did you just come over Friday?
Just Friday.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just a lot, we can only take so much time off for stuff like this. So that takes us to Friday. Big Hogan. You did a 2-day strongman event. That's not your first 2-day event, was it?
Nope, that was my first time doing it split, so that was a new experience.
Did you find it to be awesome or shitty? Because I could see the pros and the cons of either for sure.
For the purposes of home gym con, and I talked with Kurt about this, that was preferred because I did it last year and it was a 1 day, and it was the second day on Saturday. So Friday you had the con, you could go do freely, and then Saturday just was all meat. And so really it was you had Friday where you're a little anxious about the meat and you try not to be on your feet a lot, but yet you want to do the con all
Yeah,
day,
I guess
knowing
he.
you had
Yeah,
no time for the con the next day.
yeah.
So splitting it was for a convention goer much better.
Hmm.
The events themselves were not very taxing this year, like the a level drain didn't seem that big. So it would have been nice, I think, if you were not interested in the convention whatsoever, just to like get it done. Like it'd have been pretty hard to justify the trip for 2 days, if you had no interest in the convention.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Um, to see Brig Brandon, how are you more sore after helping set up for strongman and spot and load all day than you would have been if you
Those
just trained?
It's funny that I don't have a lot of like experience with sandbags. You know, I've messed around with a sandbag here and there.
Yeah,
But those guys, like, especially when it got to like the big boys, like 300 pounds,
it's a
you
big
know, when they were
sandbag.
doing those, like, I think the first couple, like when it was in like the 175s to the 225s, I was like, let me see if I can get these and like carry them back over. And that happened like 3 times tops. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to get on all fours and just shovel this across the floor, you know, and it just, otherwise, my lower back would have been toast just not having a lot of strongman experience and, being new at that. So, but it was
Yeah.
just loading and unloading and stuff like that was a good experience. And like you said, a workout in itself. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I did. One of my things I took back from Kurt did a like a preview loading up his trailer on a YouTube video. I think maybe it was Thursday. It was like basically like literally like in real time, and he posted almost immediately from what I recall. Maybe it wouldn't have been Tuesday or Wednesday, regardless. But one thing that stuck out were these like shitty Amazon dollies he was talking about, and I was like, and those look like shit. But he said he got a good deal on them, and he was all happy because they were like an 700 pound rating. They had the big platform on them. So the first thing I did when I asked him. When I saw him Friday was how are those dollies holding up? Because I kind of saw him both bent to shit in the corner, and he was like, "They're fucked, man. I got to send them back." And I got a kick out of that, so that made me chuckle. But yeah, that was my first experience when I walked in. I think Kurt was one of the first persons I saw. Big Joey, your Friday, or just walking into the expo this year versus last year in general, as someone that's been to see, well, yeah, Hogan as well could answer, but like, so year one, year two, we were in, French Lick. It was awesome. You could see the whole convention in one spot. So like coming down the escalators was like this surreal feeling. So this year we were kind of going up the escalators, but then it was kind of anticlimactic because then it's like another 100-yard walk to get to like the greeting tables and then go into the convention. But then it's just like, and when you first walk in, well, you can go explain. Like when you first walk in,
Yeah.
you can't really get the whole experience because it's kind of that L shape, but.
Yeah, I mean, definitely very different from French Lick. Was missing some of that small town kind of encapsulated vibe that we had going on there, but I had snuck into the convention Thursday night, so I
Oh
had a
yeah.
little bit of a preview of the floor. But yeah, when you're coming in the kind of main entrance, you're in kind of the small part of the L, and you can see the strongman show right there. Dean from Black Widow had his custom implements out and like they just looked impressive. It was just a sight to see. And then you kind of start walking around the corner and then once you turn that first corner, you just realize how much bigger it is. Because I've been hearing from Big Jake all year long. It's like, oh, it's, this many more vendors, this many more square feet, all these statistics. And, none of us are big math over here, so we don't know what these numbers mean, but when you see it in person, it was a sight to behold. And uh, not to give too much away, but I think just about every booth brought their A game. Like they had some pretty impressive displays. There was a lot of equipment there, a lot of stuff that you could just try out. Uh, so yeah, it was really cool. It was definitely felt at least twice as big as French Lick, if not three times as big.
That's a fair assessment. I think I don't know. I think I said it was like 40% bigger, but it probably was closer to double. 'Cause I think like just before it even goes to the L, I was probably like the size of French Lick almost. But But just having strongman actually having a bigger space, I can imagine Hogan enjoyed not having to walk through 1 billion people to like get to your next event or just have that much heat just right on top of you with having like hundreds, I mean, well, dozens of people just trying to enjoy the expo and like go to the Bells of Steel booth and just like being right up your ass. I did feel bad. Kurt had to make do with such a small space last year, but I think definitely you guys enjoyed the open space this year. At least it looked like it. So Big Mini, you get there Friday afternoon with Tanner, and you guys kind of come in. How was that whole first experience? Or did you guys were you guys able to spitball plans too the whole drive in? Because that was probably nice to have that time to brainstorm.
Well, like from the airport, it's not very far
Mm.
to the center.
Oh yeah, that's true. 'Cause you picked him up at the Louisville airport. Then that's where he flew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right downtown.
You had 18 minutes to brainstorm then.
Yeah, well, like when was that? Like the week before, um, Tanner and Tommy called and sent me they had a list of all the places that we're interested in going to, places that had some interest, places that we didn't have any interest in going to, and so we kind of knew what we were going to do, like where we needed to go, and the rough idea was that we would try to get as much filmed on the first day as possible, which worked out pretty well because we pretty much hit everything for the video that came out this week and the next video. And then on Saturday was pretty much just the last video's worth, and then we were done by 11. There was some stuff I know on the list. I feel bad because I'm not Tommy, despite the devilish good looks. But
The wool in your hair.
yeah, the wool in my hair just does not match up.
The wool in your
But-
beard, wins though.
Yeah, it does. But I felt bad because like I'm like stressing about, am I doing this the way they want? Am I doing this the way that is good? Because it's realistically, this is going to be really weird coming from a person who is sitting in this little tiny one-car garage with what I figured out over the weekend is about $13,000 in camera equipment.
Damn.
This is the first time I've ever filmed anything legitimate for somebody. The rest of it's just for live streaming. Like it's just for throwing up at powerlifting meet or throwing up at a event. So, going and doing something the way you're supposed to do it, not this weird Twitch crap, is new. But by the time we got to the second day, I feel like the bigger booths were a little harder just because their stuff is so big. When you're going with some of the
on day two, you
booths-
specifically, you mean?
Yeah, so like whenever you're going
Yeah,
to
there's a
like,
lot more
we
crowded
kind of
day
started
two,
with
for
the
sure.
biggest booths. We started with Rogue and Rep and Titan, and we kind of worked our way through. So when you're going with something like, Dialed Motion, their stuff is very small and compact, very easy to fit in the frame, very easy to film. But whenever you're in the Rogue booth and you're standing next to a 108-inch rack trying to figure out how to get a 108-inch rack in the screen, like, well, shit, this thing's gigantic.
That makes
I
sense.
mean, it was fun though. I do have some ideas that if I ever have to do it again to make it a lot easier for me and to make it a lot easier for everything else. I got very annoyed on the last day. I dropped my DJI mic and it disconnected from the receiver and refused to connect for the whole rest of the day. So I brought an extra set of mics that I bought for that reason. And as soon as we got back to the hotel after we were done, I set the camera down and I opened up the mic box. It had reconnected. Despite me trying to reconnect it for 15 minutes while Tanner is waiting to start at
Well, it's
like
because you finally turned it on and off, right?
yeah we caught them at Barbell Rescue to get ready to start talking to them, and he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. He goes, you have time for a quick video? Yeah, sure. 15 minutes later, I'm sitting there still fucking with the mic trying to get it to work, and I was like, screw it, we're going to the other mics.
Well, if we're everyone familiar with Kim, he is no stranger to kind of shit in his pants. So I mean that'll be just fine. I'm sure he could have made do. I will share some advice, but like if and when they do come back out as a pair, I still think they should hire you specifically because not that it's, I mean, I love just having Tanner on screen, but like they don't get the opportunity to both be on the you know what I mean? Like it's hard to interview people as a pair, but even if it's just them standing there kind of pitching it back and forth or alternating just booth to booth, but I don't know. I think they would give them more freedom, or if one of them's already just doing the small talk at the next booth, getting it set up, to where they don't necessarily have to be there at the same time, and they can just like immediately go A to B to C. It's an option.
Or like at the Rogue booth, they could have a Vanna White, like where they don't have somebody walking them around. Tommy could be like trying the equipment out while Tanner's explaining it.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Actually, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and like something like that, I've decided like, I was going through everything, and Tanner and Tommy were talking about how he sets up Tommy's camera, and I'm like, yeah, it's super small, easy to carry, and I'm looking at it going, okay, I want to have a bigger battery, so I'm like, oh, put the big V mount battery on it. Well, I got to put a big mount on it. Okay, well, I'm gonna have a big mount. I need a top handle. Okay, so I need a handle so I can hold it better. And I got the handle on here. Now I can't see the friggin' monitor, the screen, so I have to put my monitor on there. And it's like, okay, if I'm gonna do all that, I got to put the big thing on there. I'm like, well, now my camera is 3 times as big and 12 pounds. And like whenever I have Rachel hold it, she's over there like holding it for about 30 seconds, going, "This is so heavy." I'm like, all right, I got it. So next time, we'll make it lighter. We'll make it easier. I'll even make it where she can hold it for me if I need to.
Well, I mean, it's nothing better than that.
Yeah, make someone else do the work.
Well, yeah, that works too. It was a bad dick joke, I guess, but I tried. So Friday. So I think everyone thought I was joking when I said Coop literally flagged me down when I walked in. Like I wasn't bullshitting. Like that happened. Like as funny as that was, like as funny as it would have been to just make up that story or to fuel this fake beef that like hasn't existed for like a year and a half. And probably never existed to him. Obviously, it was just something that I held. But yeah, like when I'm getting there Friday, I think earlier I mentioned like Kurt was one of the first persons I talked to, but the literal first person I talked to once I walked into the expo, outside of meeting Adam and Jake's sister to get all my VIP stuff, walking in was, walking in, you're just getting overwhelmed by everything, and then there's literally like a group of people right in front of Strongman, and there's Coop, and he kind of looks over and he sees me. And he literally waves at me and says, hey, Keith. Like, he says my name multiple times and, like, flags me over. So I walk over and shoot the shit with him for, like, I don't know, 3 minutes. I assumed he was going to be there the next day, so I didn't, like, ask for a picture, nor did I want to necessarily, like, fanboy. In hindsight, I wish I got a picture because it would have been kind of a cool documentation. Didn't know he was just kind of there for one day and, got all his content and got out. But it was really cool. I mean, I think we literally talked about the convention more than anything, and I kind of was playing up the community that we built here. I think I even specifically said, like, we built this community because we literally did. Like, Jake put the Home Gym Con together, but we are the community that, like, come and do it. So, like, it's our convention in the sense that, like, if we didn't go to it and it was just, like, the random locals in whatever town it was, like, it wouldn't survive. There's the fact that there's so many of us willing to drive, 3-hour minimum, everyone here drove 2 or 3 hours except, Brandon. So... because he's just not as committed as we are, obviously. He should have driven in the other direction for a couple hours and then turned around just to show his true commitment to Home Gym Con. But yeah, so that was just a cool story or a cool event. And then when I posted in Discord, people were like laughing at it like they didn't believe it, and I'm like, that's a dumb emoji. That's a stupid emoji to put to that comment. So that kind of fucking annoyed me because I was like, I don't understand why you're laughing. This really did happen. So, that was, I'm not going to say it's a highlight because, it wasn't really a highlight, but it was just cool and kind of funny that I did have this, annoyance with him for several years of not being transparent and but he has been as transparent as he could be the last year and a half or so. So I don't know. I just thought that was pretty cool. And, glad he actually finally came out to Home Gym Con. I think we've been trying to get him, the community have been trying to get him out for a couple years because it would help Jake and get the exposure that Home Gym Con deserves because like, if Home Gym Con didn't continue to grow, there would not be a Home Gym Con like 4, 5, 6. Like Jake can't just take it on the chin and lose money every year. So I think this year looked like it did good. I listened to his other podcast with Nice Like Mike, and actually, this would be has anyone else listened to their podcast from yesterday or Monday? Okay, so if no one's listened to that, okay, so you can't answer this, but anybody else that hasn't listened, how many people do you think came through the door, including athletes, like ballpark? Like quick answer off the top of your head, Brandon. How many people were at Home Gym Con collectively both days?
4,000.
Okay, Hogan.
Let's say 800.
Justin.
I was gonna guess about what Brandon said, like 4,000 or 5,000. Like it seems like
okay,
there's good traffic both
so
days.
We're not this is it. I'm assuming the number that Jake said was none of those. But I interpreted it as just ticket holders and athletes, so not counting vendors, which there was several hundred like literally probably 500. I don't know. There had to be at least 500 people working for booths and shit. So not counting those people, I think he said it was 1,300. So
Mhm.
Okay.
which literally I think year one there was like 100 of us, maybe
Yep.
maybe 200 or 300. Like year one was under
I don't
year
even think that at year one.
yeah
Man, they
year
look like 75 people sometimes.
yeah year one was call it under 200. Year two was like I don't know 500, 800. I think maybe I don't remember. I don't remember if we had numbers last year, but it was literally double. But it was still like not a full blown big in your face like. But it was definitely an improvement for sure. But so I was happy with the 1,300 number when they mentioned that because like yeah that's I mean that's a lot of people every day like that's I think it was 1,300 total and like 500 or I think 400 of those or 500 of those were both day holders I believe if I recall right Joey.
It was something
So
like that. I think you said like 650 each day.
Okay.
so does that or does that not include competitors? Are they not included in the
No,
ticket
he
holders?
did specifically say competitors because if you signed up for any of the events, there was like 5 events you could do. That counts as a pack. That's your
That's a
2 day
ticket.
trip, I think. Or I'm not sure if you only there one day if it counted as your 1 day event. Since Hogan did it both days, he would it would be both days for him. But if someone just did powerlifting or weightlifting, I don't know if that was just a 1 day ticket or not. But either
That's
way,
pretty cool either way, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like
Because
he
I
almost yeah.
And to put it into
like the
perspective, the first year from Gym Con, about half the convention floor was like Jake's home gym,
Facts.
Adam's home
It
gym,
was
Kaizen, Kyle from Kaizen DIY's home. Like, that's what they were kind of working with. So the fact that in just 2 years they're at a much bigger venue, got up to 1,300 attendees, and then I don't know if people saw any of the videos that have been posted, but I think Coop's first video last time I checked had like 69,000 views on it.
nice.
There's the Massonomics video had like 6 or 7,000 views on it. There's
The
a bunch
Joey
of
video, you
other
mean?
videos out there.
What is that's just the Joey video day one.
Just the day one video. Yeah.
Joey, you're going to be a big influencer like Keith here soon.
He's got a nicer
I
Well,
think
gym and he's stronger
one
than me, so he deserves it.
I think to put the relative size comparison for those who've been to the other ones. Remember the first year, the Swing Sesh booth took up a
Yeah,
giant
it was.
amount of the space. Like the Swing Sesh booth looked huge,
It did.
and this year I barely remember seeing it. Like it
Mhm.
was such a small component.
Exactly.
And I think
oh
the
they
relative
were there the first year.
yeah, they
They've
were
been there every
awesome
year.
the
They're
first
they're a solid supporter.
That's cool.
Big Carp, if you're there, buddy, just unmute yourself and join in whenever you want. But yeah, Swing Sesh was. I do like seeing the booths that are 3 year returners. Like
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I mean, there's got to be at least 20 of them, maybe less. But
maybe
it's
less.
yeah, you're
There's a
probably right. It
tight
is
group.
probably less actually.
I remember I talked about that with like Nate Executive Fit and everybody
Yeah.
of like the people that are 3 year veterans of it, just the kind of when you know each other. Like you
Hmm.
can spot someone who's there year one, and I love when I see someone from year two. For people that are new for year three, they're joining on the fun. Like the community that it builds, I think is just next level.
Absolutely. Um. So Brandon, being your first, so you were the first timer this year, then, right? As far as
Yep,
this
first
group,
time.
so but you did go to the Arnold, so you had the Arnold experience. Was it your first time going to any? Was the Arnold your first like Arnold then this year?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you got to experience the Arnold, but it was basically the crew trip for you because I think you were at the booth with us like 90% of the day, so
Yeah.
you had that experience. So you're a good one to pick the brain of just how many crew did you hang out with? I mean, granted, you were spotting and loading all mornings both days, but you still had very active afternoons and
Yeah.
evenings hanging out with crew. What did you have? I mean, you don't necessarily have to compare it to the Arnold, but since you do have a like that baseline, just tell me about your experience just mingling with crew and how many crew you kind of interacted with and people you might not have knew were crew, and then kind of like came out
Yeah.
as crew, if you will.
Well, it's kind of like at the strongman booth, even like Big Antonio. Like I didn't know he was crew at first, and then I don't know if he had Massonomic stuff on, or if we just got to talking or something like that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm crew," and so like that was kind of cool. And I was, of course, carrying around stickers and stuff like that to pass off from my home gym. And then like Big Debo and Big Jakey and those guys would like stop by, and I'd like catch them out of the corner of my eye, and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go talk to them for a second." So most of the time, And you know, and Hogan probably knows too, like most of the time we're like doing one or two things like resetting an event or something like that, but you have a second to kind of walk away and talk to somebody, which is kind of cool. So even though you're like, you need to be there and attentive, like you still have a second to like walk away. So even during the strongman show, I was able to kind of hang out with people. And then afterwards it was cool because I was like, all right, I'm going to go find Big Debo in a minute. I'm going to talk to him and, you know, catch up and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool in that way. It also kind of broke up the day and stuff for me too, because I was able to like basically until 2 o'clock or whatever, I was helping with the strongman show, and then I could walk around and do the booth stuff. Because I will say at the Arnold, that's the one thing that was kind of like overwhelming for me. For like first event, we all know how big the Arnold is, and it's like most of those booths I just don't give a shit about. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately,
100%.
where this is like right up my alley because I mean I have a home gym, I use it every day, and like so it's something I can at least kind of enjoy, like seeing new equipment come out and stuff like that, and something that we can all kind of, as you know, crew members just relate to. So it was good.
It was a nice little experience then. Yeah, I think most of the crew were wearing I mean, I personally didn't. I wore the mask on my shorts all weekend, but I was trying to you know, rep a little more no wine cellar this weekend. Like I am crew to the heart. Obviously, no one's more crew than I am at the end of the day. But you know, I don't go to him. If we're going to home gym con, you know, I want those handful of people to be like, hey, I know that fucking guy. I don't know what he looks like, but I know that shirt. I follow his gym, and I actually got that more this year. That's how I knew it was a bigger expo because, you know, year one, the only people that knew me were influencer, like my peers that I already knew, basically. Like I didn't, there was maybe like one or two people that said they followed me that I didn't know. So like one or two. Year two, you know, maybe 3 or 4 people. This year, like, I don't know if it was like a, you know, it was more than 10 people that I chatted with that I have never talked to in my life. And they were like happy to meet me. Like that was wildly interesting. I don't put out content. I'm not an influencer. I don't do reviews. I shouldn't have a following. Like I literally just post my gym and, you know, make memes and fuck with people. So I don't know. So that means they're following me because they like my gym and they like the community that I built here and they like seeing shit like that. Maybe, I don't know. So I just thought that was cool and an experience I've never had. Like someone genuinely like intrigued to meet me. I was like, whoa, really? Here's a sticker. Have fun. If I
Probably
had
got a lot of exposure, I think, too, from Gluck's
Oh yeah.
tour
Yeah.
video with you, and I
Yeah,
could
Gluck
imagine
helped me out a lot a couple years ago. That was huge for me. But yeah, that was
I I don't know
yep.
about anyone else, but I had the same thing. I had people say,
Awesome.
"Oh yeah, I recognize you from your Instagram gym and everything." And
Love
I
it.
was like, "Me, I film like my workouts every once in a while and, you know, post on a couple of Discords and Facebook groups. I'm not anybody." But as
You're
Keith always says, influencing the influencers.
You're a very active commenter, though. I know. Like you comment on YouTube a lot. You comment on. I think like there's like a core group of like I don't know, a couple hundred people or less that comment on like 75% of people's content on Instagram and YouTube and etc. And you were definitely in that group. So that doesn't hurt to be like, you know, known in this community that we're all a fan of. Let's see. So that was mostly well, so just Friday in general. It was just I don't know, there was so much shit, just the booths. Like I I feel so obligated to go talk to my friends like that I haven't seen in a year. Like, you know, that I want to do that as a priority. And like the equipment is like not even secondary. The equipment's like third. How do you say third in
Tertiary.
yeah, it's is that actually it?
Yeah,
What is it again?
tertiary.
Okay, I've heard that word for several years. I've never known what that word meant, but okay, I did not. That's not what I thought it meant. So, tertiary. I don't think I'm saying it right,
what
but I'll
did you
take
think
it.
it
Oh, that
meant?
was good.
I don't. I honestly like. I don't know. I think it's just one of those words you just try to use context in the moment, and maybe I put it together, but definitely not like third. I guess I would have meant like I guess I would have assumed just like later on, which I mean it is to an extent, but it's like it specifically does mean three, not okay. And I don't want to blow it. Is there one for fourth? Is there a fourth place word?
Quaternary?
Are you just being funny? Or is that really a thing too?
No, it's like quattro is four.
Well, yeah,
So
I get
quaternary
I
is
get why it
the
makes
fourth thing.
technical sense, but
Yeah.
this is interesting. Is it now is this big math or is this big English? Or is it a combination? Like that's the real question.
Like
I
big
think it
foreign
might be big
language.
Latin.
Okay. I'm not big on that either. Didn't we have some Latin here the
Pig
other day?
Latin or Big Latin?
What was Latin? What was the most recent Latin talk was pounds, right? Because like LBS
Oh,
is Latin or something.
Libres.
Yeah, I think that was the most recent Latin we had. But yeah, I just felt so obligated. So yeah, I was getting at like the equipment for me is tertiary, if you will. Just like seeing your, I guess I don't know. So how do I rank one and two? Then it would basically be like just the community as a whole, and then seeing my friends that own booths and stuff, and supporting my friends is kind of over just looking at the other equipment at other people's booths. So, and I've said that literally even year one. Well, year one I probably did see everything. Year two I probably skipped a lot of stuff just because I was so overwhelmed with just seeing your friends. This year I definitely skipped a lot of shit. Like I think I glazed through every booth, if you will, but like individually trying every piece of equipment, like I don't know. Let's see, there had to be 1,000 pieces of equipment there. Probably, well, if you count bars and stuff, we're going like 3,000 pieces of equipment, 4,000 pieces of equipment.
Yeah, I don't
But
I don't think it was possible over the 2 days to actually
no,
carry everything. Like
no,
you could maybe visit every booth, but there's no way you could try
yeah,
everything.
which is
Well, I
pretty
think to
cool.
your point, I've heard you say online, Keith, like also it's what realistically am I going to add to my gym? And I also knew because there's such a bigger presence of like people doing reviews. I literally walked around and was like, I want to talk with the people. And they'd be like trying to review the thing or talk to me about the thing. I'm like, no, I just kind of want to talk to the person. And I was like, I'll watch the video later. Like if it's
Hmm.
worth me even in my radar, someone will make a video about it. And if I'm going to buy it anyway, I'll watch a video just to get more details. Which is funny because then like there's the Gluck review of the dialed motion versus the rep leg extension leg curl. And I'm like, I don't remember seeing I saw the dialed motion, but I didn't spend any time with it.
Mhm.
And there's like so many things at the booth I knew nothing about because I was just like, oh, I walked through it, I talked to the people, that's what I wanted to do. I want to go talk to somebody else.
That's fair. Well, I want to give the floor to Mr. Big Carp if he can get unmuted here. Let him get. I don't know how much time we're gonna have with him. Well, while he figures out his phone. Brandon, anything stick out to you at the booths that we're excited to see?
Yeah. So the ATX booth I thought was pretty cool. We Robo and James and I walked around, and the first thing I tried was that standing chest press that I think Massonomics ended up picking up. And I also tried the pendulum squat.
Yeah, the
And kind of
pendulum's the one
compared.
that Tanner took home. I'm not sure who
Oh,
got
did he not
the.
get the chest press either? I thought he
Yeah.
said something
I
like
think he said he's gonna buy it potentially.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, I
but
think so.
he ended up taking the pendulum is I'm pretty sure a big Hogan's sitting on it right now currently in his basement.
Mhm.
Oh no. So
Luke's
you'll have to bring it
garage
in,
gym
Wait,
right?
did
got
you
the
actually? Is it actually like? Is it? I know you have it, but is it tarped in your truck or is it in your basement?
It's in my basement.
Oh, that
Did you set
sucks.
We
up?
we may or may not, if I feel rowdy enough, put it together to use it. And it may or may not be a am I sleeping in the home gym video.
Yeah, I
That
saw
would.
him.
You definitely
I
should.
saw him unloading the reloaded crate. Like they put it back in a crate for him, and then he's like, "Oh, that's not going to fit in my truck."
Oh
He had
yeah,
to
no.
unload the crate back in the back of his truck. I saw witness that.
We're getting
Oh.
ahead on days, but since we're on it, I gotta share this. That lever arm was so heavy
I
because it has a
bet.
counterweight on it. And like it, the whole thing on the site says that the whole thing weighs 300 and something pounds,
Mhm.
which I don't think is right. That counterweight probably weighed 100 of the pounds. And it's like on a 6 foot pole, and we're loading in, and Jake, home gym con runner Jake comes over and helps us.
Oh, dope.
And
That's
I
awesome.
get it home, and I realize, oh, it's got like inch bolt to where you can take that part off. But we didn't have, so we got it off. So that's gonna make it easier to get on the marathon over to Western Northeast South Dakota. But oh my gosh, that was a pain in the butt.
I don't think there'll ever be a year that someone doesn't hand deliver something to Tanner out in Aberdeen. Like someone's is bringing something. I can't remember. So it was the dumbbells last year. I don't remember.
Mhm.
Honestly don't remember. I know there was something the first year. I just don't remember what it was. I don't know. It had maybe the dumbbells were the first year because Eddie brought him the dumbbells. So then who
We did
didn't?
it. I did a me and George
George brought him. What did George bring him last year? What did?
dumbbell 80
Was it?
So
80
Yeah,
okay, so
pounds.
there was dumbbells each year then. Okay.
Yeah.
There was round helds in 23 and in 24. I'm sure there was other shit too. But
Well,
and now
Tanner
you
wasn't there in
no to I'm sorry. I'm talking about the the journey to live hard, live easy. So like
Oh, man, you're
someone
jumping like 2 weeks ahead.
no, but it's still it's relevant because this will be the third year in the row that he mooches off on this good crew karma that he has with us and gets something hand delivered out to Aberdeen, which would cost him the equivalent of the product in most cases for the delivery.
The
So
Crew Express.
yeah, it's pretty cool. We have this. Now, are you going to Sharpie your name all over it like you did with the wasn't that some dumbbells that were signed last year?
I've gotten permission to do whatever I want to it.
That's awesome.
So I will be doing whatever I want to it.
That's good stuff. You know, whatever the 100-pound lever arm allows you to do to it. That's awesome. That's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt your gas mileage. A hair probably going out there. I don't know. Just because
I mean,
is
yeah.
does it stick above the actual cab though, or is it all going to be in the bed?
I think with the counterweight off, it might actually all fit flat.
Okay, yeah.
On the way back, there was like just a bit of it like catty
Gotcha.
cornered that had to stick out.
Not enough to really be too big of a draft either way though. So
I'm already whatever. It's
cool
fine.
beans. Oh, it was just
yeah. And technically, I'm trading him for something. We did
Ooh.
arrange a trade, so
Oh, nothing you can disclose there, Mr. Secrety Pants.
I think it's more fun to have some secrets when it comes to this.
I assume it's just more stuff that Tanner took from Efren's gym.
Is he giving you Joey? Correspondent Joey? Are you getting Joey in return?
Oh yeah. Could be a good addition to as he's sleeping into the gym tonight, and just have that like color, an additional color commentator. Now you got me down. Now I'm all distracted thinking like what you're gonna. Is it something that's okay? Wait, I'm not. You don't have to tell me, but is it something that we know is in his gym already, or is it something?
Correct. Yes, it's an exchange of gym items.
Oh, I hope it's
fit
not
under the bed.
I hope it's not that 700-pound belt squat that no one wants to buy off of him.
What'd you say, Brandon?
Can it fit under the bed?
Oh, you know what? I bet it could. I bet it could.
Is it
I
a
think
tiny
some
tonal?
angling- What was that, Carp?
A tiny tonal?
That was funny. All right, we won't pick your brain too much, but that does have me intrigued though. That's actually I do hate surprises immensely, but since that's not completely directed to me, I will be anxious or optimistically. Oh, that's not the right word. I'm anticipating to see what you get.
Tertiary.
Tertiary.
That's the right word.
I think tertiary needs to be the episode title. Someone send that in the Discord before I forget. All right. Trying to think. Let's see. Carp, since I don't know how long I'm going to have you, if you're not going to stick around the whole night, just want to give me like a 5-minute or less break. You know, you have the floor, buddy. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, so this is your opportunity to tell us about your home gym con experience and tell us how you're feeling after that massive fall you took.
I was wondering if you're going to mention that.
Oh God, it was the funniest thing of the weekend.
Kurt said, "Make sure you drop a timestamp." I was like, "Oh man, everybody's going to know about this thing." But yeah, this year I didn't compete, so I just really wanted to hang out with the crew. I thought if I made some content, then good. If I didn't, that's fine too. I knew I'd make some small things here or there, but I really wanted to try out all the lat pull downs or cable machines, whatever. Yeah, some are just a single stack, and some of them are functional trainer. But I wanted to try all the new functional trainers type lat pull down machines. So I got to do all that. Some of that, me and Joey went around together and did some of that. And also wanted to try all the leg extension machines, plate loaded, or like the dial motion is a big one, and the rep ones. I got to try all those. So that was my two things going into it that I wanted to try. One thing that really surprised me though was that quantum trainer, the guy from the UK. It's that multi-use machine. I think it does he said 200 different exercises.
Oh, the thing that looked like jammer arms, but not.
Yeah,
like
it's a big piece, but I can see it being in a warehouse gym or somewhere that trains athletes or something like that, because there's lots you can do with it. You could set up stations and stuff like that. I don't have anywhere that I would use it or do it, but it did surprise me how beefy and stuff it was. Like I kind of seen it before and I was like, that's not for me, or I kind of looked down on it. But after actually trying it and using it, I was like, that's something that's pretty cool that I wasn't expecting to like. And then just really wanted to hang out with crew. Like I tried to have dinner a couple nights with everybody, tried to have lunches and things like that. Really so much fun talking to guys and seeing people that didn't come that aren't even crew, like Joe Gray and some of the guys from the community that you guys may know or heard of. But I've been following him for a long time. I met Brandon there. I think I met all you guys there at least once. And it was just cool getting to hang out with everybody. So I wasn't really too much worried about any kind of content or anything I made. I tried to get involved since I didn't compete this year in strongman. I tried to get involved in the deadlift party and the log lift off. I wanted to do some things, so I brought my gear with me. And the joke of the day was on the log lift. I failed the first 225 attempt by bouncing off the top of my head, and Big Mark Rosenberg said, "Way to use your head. Next time, don't use your head." And everybody's laughing. And then so I was like, okay, like I kind of laugh that off, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. Andrew Hanus is the MC, so he's like, I think it's there, so I give it another shot. I think I got it, and then I lose my balance a little bit. I step backwards, and my heel goes off of the platform onto a different level, and that just buckled my knee. So I don't think it was a strength issue. I think I lost my balance, and I had a tumble backwards. So drop the log onto the crash pad. It hits one crash pad, and the other side hits the floor, and it kind of rolls. And I do a California roll out the back there, and then he survived.
You essentially backpedaled like solid like 6 feet, and then just completely eat shit on your side like hard.
Yeah,
like it looked really bad.
Still got a skinned elbow and a skinned knee, even though I had elbow sleeves and knee pads on. But I mean, straight on concrete.
I'm glad you're okay, bud.
But I'm not like I wasn't injured or whatever. Just a little skinned knee, a skinned elbow. But man, I really thought I had it. I even think I thought I got it in my head. Then I was like, okay, why am I on the ground? But
no,
it is what it is. But
I mean, if you want to call it a gym PR, you'd have to go back and watch it in slow motion.
No, I didn't lock it out.
Yeah, you were like you were all. I think if you had kept your breath and didn't start screaming in celebration when you were 95% there, you would have got 100% and been fine. But
I don't even know that I did that, honestly, guys.
Oh, when you watch it back, you're like,
yeah. When I watched it,
I
thought one of y'all added that in. Or
no, that's
I
you.
thought that
brother.
was like I didn't know that was me. I thought it was like because I was like that was
that's
PR.
You 100% are screaming like "fuck yeah" or something to the extent.
I thought I did a big Keith. Fuck
I'm
yeah.
assuming you lost your. I don't know. There's a lot of people that yell out like mid press and stuff, but I try to wait till I'm done.
No, I didn't even know. I thought one of y'all went back and put a little clip in there to make fun of me.
That's really
and I was
funny.
Like, no, I guess that
we didn't have to edit that one. I was kind of hoping Dodds would make it to where like when you fell, it like fell through the universe or something, but no.
And then I thought somebody was going to.
No one ran with that yet.
Throw a Brad the Pad in there behind me.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, all in all, had a good time.
Speaking of the pads too, like shout out to Abmat because like those were the big log crash cushions. I think if we were just using some shitty crash pads, like you could have fucking done some damage to yourself if that had like come down on you or you fell a different way, or if they weren't long enough to, that could have might have bounced one a little bit different way. So
yeah,
I'm glad
that's
you're okay, bud, because that's
like
scary.
the holy gym, holy grail home gym log too. So I was like, I hit the ground. I was looking at Kurt. I was like, dude, if I broke your log, I'm sorry. Like, it was like, and the log survived. There was no damage or whatever. But I was like, because I know how hard it is to get that log. Because I got one.
I can mail him.
Yeah, right. I was like, I guess I got to give you my log if I broke it.
Good
but yeah,
stuff.
it survived and we survived. But it was fun. Yeah, all in all.
Awesome.
I don't know if there's anything you guys had mentioned before I hopped on about questions or if you had like
we're kind of going through travel. Like, I mean, we're not here to do tell me your favorite piece. I mean, we can do the tell me your favorite piece as long as it like keeps it brief. But like, this isn't the podcast where we do the blow by blow on every review. Go watch everyone's video content for that. This is the crew. I want this to be more of the after hour stuff, shooting the shit. Like, I didn't until we actually had the Saturday night. I didn't even know I wanted to do this podcast because I didn't know we were gonna have enough content. But I think there was enough stuff between the dinners and everything. So, I mean, if everyone, I want to hear. Hogan.
I got one more.
Yeah, buddy.
I did hear the Tanner kick somebody out of the gym story. Finally, he said he told it live.
Just remember, you can't. This is not a.
No, I'm just saying. I heard
that is good. You are in the elite group, so that's.
I missed that.
Oh, see, now you have to come to. Another reason to come to Live Hard, Live Easy, Joey. If you weren't moving, if you just postpone your move, you'd get that done. But yeah, no, that was I've known that story for a while. It's kind of nice to be like in that. I mean, the circle is growing of people that know that, but most people forget to ask him. He wouldn't spill any beans about the because he's been talking up the grease for the Brian Alsrew story, and he wouldn't spill the beans on that one at all. He was like, "Nope, can't tell you that one." So, Big Joey, did you talk about any of your crew interactions? Just mainly at the expo. We'll get into the dinners and stuff and anything like that, but it's like mainly like floor interactions or just overall crew experience because I'll set it up a little bit for you. So like you haven't gone to the Arnold and you haven't gone to Live Hard, Live Easy. And
Hmm.
last year's home gym con, there was like, I don't know, 10 crew, if you will, 15, 20,
Hmm.
whatever. There was literally, I think Tanner did the big math over there. And it was like over 50, which I only met like 25, 30. I probably met 30-ish of them, but there was a bunch that like just checking Discord, they were in and out, gone, didn't make any effort to look for people, which kind of sucked. But like, uh, you know, we had a lot of interactions I had a lot of interactions. So tell me about any of your interactions that, stick out to you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like just the sheer number of crew was definitely overwhelming. It was also a situation where there was a lot of people wearing Massonomic shirts and did not recognize most or all of them, and so it's a
Isn't that
little bit
weird?
of like, are they crew? They might be crew, or they might just have a Massonomic shirt because the shirts are really good. Um, but yeah, I mean, just overall like doing sticker exchange and stuff like that. I don't have a home gym sticker per se, but my wife designs stickers, and they had one of a burger head bodybuilder man named Adonis Q Fantastaburger. So I was handing those out, and that got a good chuckle out of people. And definitely got to handed out way more of those than I thought I was going to. And yeah, it was just a good time. And I'm excited to talk about the dinners. I think that's where the
Oh yeah.
real after home gym con grease happens.
Well, I personally know that Joey didn't use code unpaid to play snacks, but if you are listening to this and you need stickers, go ahead over to our friends over at Plate Snacks, get you a whole bunch ordered up, and use code unpaid, save you a couple bucks there. So that'll work out for everybody. Yeah. Well, Justin, anything else with the crew before we kind of get into the nightlife?
Yeah, going off what Joey just said too with the at some point, I think about one out of every three people had a Massonomic shirt on.
Wow.
And the good thing about being with Tanner going around is there are people like, for example, when I started college, I came down to my new college. I had never met any of the teachers. I walked in to fill some papers out in the front office, and one of the teachers walks down the hallway and says, "Oh, hey," and calls me by name. Never met me, never saw me before. But he took pictures of all the kids who were going to be in the band and studied them so he'd know their names a month before school started. I'm the kind of person, I have kids I've been teaching for 2 years and I don't know their name. So having Tanner there, he's like, "Oh, that's this one. That's this guy. That's this guy. That's this guy. That's this woman. That's this guy. This guy's friends with this guy. This guy lives." I'm like, "Okay." It's like a family reunion where you're like, "This is your 14th cousin once removed." You're like, "Got it."
He has a
Oh,
plethora of crew knowledge. Like, I
he
mean, I have to
does.
ask him every night. Like, granted, he did ask me a couple times over the weekend who this person was or who that person was, either in person or via text. But like 99% of the time, he knows who the fucking crew is. Where I'm like, damn, that is impressive. His ability to know have names with faces and usernames and all that shit is actually very impressive.
Yeah, that's a skill. That's a skill that I don't think I have enough time left on this world to learn.
All right, so. That pretty much is. I mean, we can if we circle back to some equipment later, possibly if we want. But for now, let's get into some of the nightlight stuff. So Friday, well, we kind of touched on Thursday there, Joey. Wasn't anything anything funny or anything stick out Thursday night that was noteworthy, other than that Hogan couldn't make it even though he put it all together.
That, I mean, Thursday was pretty low key. After dinner, we snuck back into the convention center and just kind of walked around with it all shut down, and there was like almost no one else in
Were the
there.
lights on at
Uh,
least, or is it like dark as shit?
no, it was dark. It was
Just like just the
ridiculously
emergency
hot
light. Yeah, it was the
on
when
Thursday. On
yeah,
Thursday, they didn't have the AC on at all. I felt
which is
so bad for anyone
shitty. Like
doing setup.
I get maybe you have to pay extra for that, but like you would think that like you wouldn't want to fuck the setup crew for that. Like I don't know, but if we're talking like it's extra thousand, because it probably does cost hundreds, and like it's not gonna be like $50 to run the AC in there for an extra day. It's got to be like that's a big fucking electric bill. Well,
Do you
gas
want to
bill.
know how much it would have cost to carpet it through the rumor that I heard.
Oh God, let's see. So we're like the amount of like, what do we think it's like 2 football fields, give or take? Like 3 football fields? I mean, if French
Probably
Lick is a
3.
football field, that's 3 football fields, if you will.
Yeah,
So
probably
three
3.
football
Yeah.
fields with like just rugs.
It's like a full city block, like the building is.
Um,
Yeah, pretty
It's gotta
much
be-
because the road goes underneath and splits it in the middle right where you walk out of the center.
Yeah.
$12,000 to carpet it for the weekend.
Anybody else want to guess, or me just give the
I thought I heard it somewhere, so I don't want to guess. I thought I heard Jake say
Okay.
it somewhere. so
I'm
you-
gonna guess 50,000.
Okay. Well, Carp, correct me if I'm wrong. I heard it would be $25,000
Fuck me.
to carpet the place.
Yeah, I think you
And-
were saying it was like
Ugh.
3,000 to 5,000 per aisle. Like if you if you did the carpet each aisle, it'd be something close to that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
next year we'll just have to carpet the place where Carp's about to fall, and we should be good.
And I don't know if you guys who have been to the
Or
Arnold.
just-
There's been a few times where I've went on Thursday to help set up, and
Mhm.
none of that is carpeted. So all the aisles are carpeted for the Arnold for the whole thing.
Yeah.
None of that's carpeted until about 7 p.m. the night before.
Wow.
And so if you're talking 25,000 for a center the size of Louisville, now imagine what's got to cost the Arnold to just do that.
It's wild.
No, he was saying just the aisle, the walkway between the booths.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like not the whole place, just
Yeah.
each aisle. Yeah. Like the little walk
Ugh.
between.
No, thank
No.
you.
I wonder how that works though, because it got to be like, is that a company that comes in and does it, or do they just have it like in the back and they just bring it out? But like, that's weird because you wouldn't know that.
I know we're getting off base, but
No, this is I'm actually
but
intrigued by this.
for the strongman, they had the the like most jank bleacher seating.
Oh yeah, it
like
was all bent to shit.
it was like what you would see if you went to your little kid's like 5-year-old soccer game, and the teenagers came and beat the crap out of them.
Mhm.
And I'm glad there was seating. Like
Oh, yeah.
don't get
That
me
was
wrong.
an improvement over last year. Yeah.
It was an improvement, but it looks so odd because the space was so grand, the equipment's so nice, and you have these tiny bleacher seatings. And of all the things I forget a chair. And so Nicole, being a sweet person, sneaks out and goes find the chair. And the first day, no issue. Second day, she went to go get one, and there's a worker there, and he's like, "Well, you can't take those. They have to pay for those." And I forget how much he said that chairs for that seating section would have been, but it was around like a couple $100. And so he was like, "Well, you can take one for a couple $100." And she goes, "Okay," and just grabs one and leaves.
They will bring me. Oh, so I will to any strongman listening or powerlifters. Like I think I shared it in Discord before or on Instagram, but like I've got that little accordion chair. It's like a little like stool, but it will support my fat ass weight with no issue. I think it's got like 300+ pound rating, and it literally accordions down to like a dinner, like a 3-inch thick dinner plate. But it'll open up and like pyramid up into a leveled chair, if you will, so you can have it be like a 6-inch chair or like a 20-inch chair, and it's like so there's no back or anything to it, but like just to sit and not be on your dirty floor, like or laying sprawled out, like that's the best investment ever, and it fits in a gym bag like easily. It'll fit in a gym bag and weighs like 3 pounds. So highly recommend if anyone's interested in that. Just go to Amazon and search it or ask me. I'll send you the link. So.
Use code GLAZE.
Yeah, and the one I do have is orange, 1,000,000%. They had an orange one. That's clearly what had to be bought. All right.
As a person who has broken 500-pound capacity office chairs,
But yeah, it's not for you, man.
I
think it might go
I
up
feel
your
like
I think it might actually go up your ass if you try to use it big, my friend. I wouldn't recommend
I would have to have a very good proctologist on call.
I mean, we at least have one doctor here, but not that kind.
Be more than a skin knee.
Yeah. All right. Nightlife, or do you want to talk? Well, yeah, we can skip. We don't really talk about the food in the venue. It was blah. But so Friday night was the open bar, happy hour. I don't know if anyone went to that. That was for the VIP only, I believe. And then there was crew, almost all of the crew, or at least the majority of the crew that were there that knew about it, went and did 7 p.m. Smash Burger, but the VIP thing was at 6:30 to 8:30, so we kind of had like dueling, opportunities there. So a bunch of us that had the VIP thing went and got a free beer and was just like, all right, there is 300 people in here in a 100 square foot room. I'm gonna go get some food. At that point, I personally was starving and hadn't eaten since like 11 in the morning, and it was like 8 o'clock at night or 7, 7-ish at night. So we started heading over to Smashburger, and the funny part was I think Tanner had even mentioned it on their podcast. So a lot of this might be a repeat from what he was saying, but like we literally did grow. Like it was me, Tanner, uh, Kurt, George, one of their other guys. I don't think he was crew, and then we started our jaunt, our trek over to Smashburger, and we met up with like I think we grabbed Big Eddie on the way out. We grabbed Big Eddie's apprentice or intern, if you will. It was like it was several other groups of people, like, and we were trying to show, keep in touch in Discord, and then just that we were kind of like exiting the VIP thing and going over there. I think by the time we got there, there was at least 20 of us in Smashburger, like legitimately 20. When I got there with Tanner and a bunch of people, Hogan and Nicole were already sitting down. Maybe a couple other people were sitting down. Me, Eddie, and Tanner get through, get our order in, and get sitting down, have our little, waiting for our stuff. And there was a gridlock behind us. Like I don't know what happened. I think Brandon, were you the next person in line behind us, or right in that group, or were you already sitting down? Yeah. So I don't know what happened. By the time we put our order in and sat down, you assholes stood there for at least 30 minutes, I think, before they even took your order. So I don't know what was going on. But later that night, we did see one of the cooks get taken out on a stretcher. So that probably had something to do with it. But I'm talking too much, so someone pick up just the
I
whole
have a
Smashburger
question.
night.
Just for anybody who, I mean, everybody here, I think, went to Smashburger, but where would we normally keep receipt paper in a restaurant?
That was hysterical.
You can go on.
That was amazing. Yeah, whenever you're at a restaurant, start lifting up the booth
All right.
seat because you might find some goodies in there.
Yeah, so someone tell that whole story from the beginning, because they didn't mention this on their podcast. So Hogan, did you observe this whole thing?
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
it. Brandon, I think you had a great view of that. You want to tell it?
Well, I was sitting at the table with Hogan and Nicole and James, and all we saw was everyone get up from the table to my left, so it'd been Hogan's right, and it would have been like Tanner, Keith, all those guys stand up. I think Minnie, were you at that table too?
I was next one down.
Me,
Next
Tanner,
one down.
Joey, Eddie.
I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Joey was there. So all you guys stood up, and we just kind of read between the lines of like, okay, they asked them to move to get something, and then realized it was for the receipt paper, which it kind of makes sense in this like small downtown restaurant space that they would have to keep things in like weird areas just because they don't have the square footage probably for storage. But it was kind of funny at the time. So.
Yeah, they lift up the seat and they had stuff in it. And I'm like, what else do you keep in here?
You start opening random things and see what.
Yeah, you never know what's going to be in something. Start pulling on things. Who knows what you'll find?
That's what I tell her all the time.
No, I was waiting for somebody to hit that low hanging fruit. But so you finally got your order in after. Was she just not taking the order? Like, were you just standing there like, and they wouldn't take the order? Because I was very confused because I looked up multiple times and the same like 7 people hadn't moved like an inch.
I mean, from what I could tell, they were just backed up, and like it was the same person taking orders as was doing making the shakes and everything. And so, I think Keith, you and Tanner ordered some shakes, and like
Oh, it's my fault. Yeah.
yes,
Wow.
yeah. So it was really all that
Son of a
time
bitch.
making your shake
The shake was pretty
that
good.
slowed everything down.
I needed so many calories, and I'm glad I got the shake too because I had that shake demolished, and like food was like 10 minutes later. So and it was literally like 8 o'clock by the time we ate. So I was very malnourished and very happy to get something in.
I get them mixed up. Shake Shack and Smashburger. I always
Same.
get them mixed up. But I remember because where that came about was at the Arnold. Me and Paul were planning out kind of where to go in for meetups, and I find that I love you all, but planning something for a reservation is awful. We got to pick places that are you just show up and you sit down.
Yep.
It's every time. The Eagle was an exception because we could have a party room, but it was perfect. We had that whole booth aisle. It was just like what we did at Shake Shack or Smashburger, whichever one it was for the Arnold.
It was Smashburger. No, fuck. No, it was fuck.
I think it was Shake Shack for the
Where the
Arnold.
hell did we eat out? I'm so confused. Yeah,
They're
Shake
green. They're both green.
Yeah,
I always
Shake
get
Shack. So
mixed up.
the thing that edged out the Arnold was you could kiosk order. So here I am like an asshole at home gym con telling everyone that the place we're about to go to, it'll be super easy. You just walk up, they have 4 kiosks, you can put your food in, you don't have to talk to anybody. It's fucking great. We get there and there's a fucking line with 10 people in it already. And I'm like, God
I
damn it.
also thought it was going to have a kiosk.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm
So
not
it
the
was
only asshole.
not golden, but it was still very nice just to do that because it's quality food. So
It was actually very good. I got a burger and a chicken sandwich and the shake and sweet potato waffle fries. It was the I wasn't gonna yeah, for me it was the only good food that I breakfast the next morning was really good, but everything else I ate was not good at all. So that was like the highlight of my meal consuming that night for sure. I enjoyed immensely.
did you all go somewhere after it? I know that
So
I tuned in.
we went. I don't know who all. I went back with some group of people and we basically checked back in on the bar. Thankfully, like the hotel bar. Oh, because you didn't stay at the Galt House. So the Galt House was awesome as far as like having that like big bar. So the Galt House, like the main hotel that we all stayed at, there it's 2 massive 20+ story hotels connected with a breezeway, and I don't know, that's not the right word, but there's like
It's almost
a
like an aviary.
yeah,
Like
like
it
there's a
looks like a
three-story
bird
thing
cage.
that connects the two of them, and on one of them, like a whole floor is like just this bar lounge. So it did work out that both nights I was there, I ended up, being at that bar lounge until midnight, essentially. Uh, let's see. So, okay, I got you.
Well, before Joey leaves, I wish you really could have came out Thursday night because we went to Old Spaghetti Factory. My wife got the chicken parm, and Keith wasn't there to experience it, but it was a good chicken parm.
All right. All right, so we got Big Joey here. He's going to leave shortly. He's got some stuff to go take care of. So hit us with your Saturday. Well, we kind of covered most of Friday. We'll circle back to that if we need to. But Saturday night, you and I did a lot of hanging out. So oh fuck, I guess we got to get into all that then. So yeah, give me your blow by blow on Saturday evening, if you will, or anything you want to enclose with, and then we'll circle back once you're gone to pick any threads, I guess, just so we can
Yeah, I
get your
mean,
airtime.
Saturday was a ton of fun. Once again, Dr. Hogan uh, hooked us up with a dinner spot. So we all met up at, I don't even remember the formal name of it, but Guy Fieri's Barbecue Flavor Town is what I'm going to call it.
Smokehouse.
And it was one of those places where you just kind of go in and order at the counter and they hand you your food and then you go sit down. So, perfect for a big group and not needing like a pre-reservation or anything like that. The only downside was they started running out of meat pretty much as soon as we walked
Yeah,
in.
fucking Brandon
So,
got the last chicken, the motherfucker.
I did that on purpose too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you just got us
Double
back for
protein.
standing in line for fucking 30 minutes the night before, so I guess karma.
Yeah, I mean, Keith was talking like the whole time we were in line. Oh, I want to get one of those chickens. I got to get one of those chickens. And, Big Brandon's just like, I got this and snagged it right before he
Sure
got up
did.
there. Um, but yeah, I mean, I thought the food was fine. It wasn't great. It was about what I expected, but the company was phenomenal. They did have a water station, which I always appreciate, so we could keep ourselves filled with water and not dehydrate like we did during the day at the
Oh
convention.
God, the level of dehydration. I drank so much water Friday night at the Smash Burger slash the other one, whichever the fuck we were at. It was I the whole time we were there, I drank like 5 cups of water, and I didn't piss until I got to my hotel room at like midnight. Like I didn't have to pee. That means my body was just like I've never been so parched that my body couldn't like process the liquid out like it normally would in the urine. I was just like, what the fuck? I was like to the point that I was like, how long can I keep pushing this? Like I don't even have to pee, and I'm still thirsty. This is not healthy. Isn't not good. I don't think I had any water from like the flight until basically Smash Burger at 8 o'clock. Sorry, I
Yeah,
interrupt you there.
no, that's fine. That was definitely a big problem, but yeah, and then we were hanging out at the barbecue place until like we didn't close it down. So we closed
No,
down
we were
Smash
there
Like
for
Burger.
about
nine
2 hours.
ten, 9:20.
Yeah, but yeah, about 9:20, something like that.
So
And
2 hours.
I don't know who originally proposed it, but the first I heard about
Fucking
it
Robo, wasn't it?
was Big James
Yeah.
just going, hey, I'm gonna go ride the mechanical bull upstairs. And I didn't even know there was a mechanical bull upstairs. I don't know how he found out there was a mechanical bull upstairs, but sure enough, we all start piling out of the restaurant and going up the escalator and heading to uh the bar where you have to get your hand stamped and pay a cover charge so you can watch people ride the fucking
Fucking
mechanical
cover.
bull.
I have a story about that too.
Same, yeah. We'll let Joey finish and we'll circle back with the cover charge later because yeah, I got a fucking bone to pick with them.
But yeah, we also didn't realize before we got in there that it was like a Coyote Ugly type situation, and they
Yes.
had all the waitresses wearing
It's a good explanation.
chaps and doing line dances and stuff in the middle of the bar. But got to see Big James ride the mechanical bull and fall on his ass, and then after 2 days of strongman. Big Dr. Hogan says, "You know what I need for my recovery? I need to also ride the mechanical bull."
Doing the bull dance.
That was awesome.
As seen in the unpaid or underrated stories and the highlights from Home Gym Con. If you haven't seen it yet, just go circle through all those highlights. Actually, no, it's on the note. It's somewhere fucking on Instagram. I don't know. DM me, I'll send
Sometimes
it
you
to
just gotta horse cock that bull.
you. Yeah.
But yeah, and I gotta run, but just wanted to say, had a great time. Similar to Keith, it's catching up with everyone that I've seen the last 2 years before and now 3 years and all the new people and it's a little cliche, but it really is the friends we made along the way. So uh definitely looking forward to next year and definitely looking forward to making my way out to South Dakota one of these times. I won't make it to the Lift Hard Live Easy, but maybe I can swing Crew Falls.
You heard it here first. We'll see Big Joey at Crew Falls. Write it down. Put it in pen. We don't need a pencil for that. All right, buddy.
All right.
Appreciate you hopping on tonight, and we'll see you when we see you, brother. And hopefully no
Hey,
later
boys.
than next year.
See you, buddy.
See you, Joey.
All right, so Big, do we want to circle back to? I mean, let's just go to the cover charge, I guess, because then we can circle back to anything else. But that was, you said you had a story on that one, Brandon, and I hope and smile he might have.
Well, so like the next day, so apparently Emily, my wife, was there also. My wife. So a little story behind that was kind of had like an inside joke, like these guys don't actually exist, do they? Like, like you're just messing around, like fake listening and talking to people on the internet.
Oh, her
her
experience to Crew. Okay,
exactly. So
she thinks you don't have online friends that are your real friends,
right? Exactly.
You literally went to the Arnold, didn't she see you pose and like fucking?
Yeah, 20? She did.
You're like 20. Okay, so it was more of a joke.
More just a joke.
Okay.
So, but she came with me. She wanted to hang out with you guys too. So we go upstairs. The whole group of us do, and we're all in line and.
There was like at least 10 of us, I think. If not,
yeah, probably so.
Maybe a little more.
She goes to pay the cover charge because she has her wallet out, and the hostess or whoever just is like casually, like right before she pays, like just throws a tip on, like the highest tip amount on every single one or whatever. So instead of the $10, she paid for James also because he had just bought a drink for us. Instead of the $10, it was like $43 or something like that for this cover charge to go in there. So she was really mad, but she didn't tell me because she knew I would have blown a gasket.
Oh wait, she didn't realize. Like she just said fuck it and paid it, or she didn't realize.
Yeah, she just paid it. She was like, "Yeah, we're having." So she didn't. She actually didn't even tell me that night. She told me the next day.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, so
she's enabling bad activities.
Yeah, so we got into the talks of ethics and how I've of course got mad, let it bother me for like 12 hours.
That might actually be my fault because no, you were first though. No, you were we were ahead of us. Okay, so no, it's not my fault. I was thinking if you were the one right behind me, maybe they were so pissed at me that they fucked the next guy. So I get up there and $10. Okay, that's fucking stupid. I haven't paid a cover charge and. I mean, maybe I paid one in Sioux Falls. I don't think I ever did, but like, I don't remember the last time I paid a cover charge. So like 20 years and $10, whatever. Here's my card. And she's like, just hit enter or hit the blue button or whatever. But on mine, it automatically went to a $2 tip. And I'm like, a tip. And I had already hit like the okay button. And I was like, no, back this out. Like, I'm not like I actively and audibly said, I'm not fucking tipping you. I don't think I said fucking, but I was like, I'm not tipping you for a cover charge. Like I'm absolutely in no fucking world am I tipping you. I'm sorry that you work at a place that your tips, the way they have it set up that you need to be tipped for a cover charge. Like I get tip sharing. I've worked in service injury, but like I'm not tipping a fucking cover charge. Like that's asinine. That's no. You should be an hourly employee, not a fucking person who's working on tips if you're working the goddamn door at a bar. So this doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. It's a
Well, it's not a service, right? Like, so you tip somebody for doing a service. Like
exactly.
they do a service for you. They do a good job. You tip them.
That's her telling me to hit enter and give her a tip is not a fucking service. That is self-serving. So no, so I might have been well, okay, so back it all up. So I had horrible fucking travel getting there, obviously, and I kept my composure the entire time. I wasn't rude to anyone, I felt, but I think I mentioned to Robo a couple times. I was like, man, I feel bad for the first person over the next couple days that gives me any shit or bad service because I'm so fucking pissed off at my travel woes and I kept my composure so far, but my tolerance for bullshit is like non-existent right now. And she was the first person to give me any shit just because like who the fuck's gonna like try to con someone into a tip. So that just irked me. And my God, if she had fucking conned me into a $40, you're saying it was $40 for all three of you?
Oh, yeah, all three of us.
Okay, that's not as bad.
Plus the tips. No, I mean it was still
so 10, 20, 30. So yeah, she was doing $4 or $5 a person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So whatever.
Okay,
tip, you know how it's like
15%,
20%.
Yeah, I think it was 10, 15, 20 or 15, 20,
like
25.
So whatever it was ended up being $40-something. So
that's okay. For a second there, I thought it was like 120 for all three of you.
Oh,
no,
no,
I was like,
no.
that would have fucking lost my mind. I would have gone back.
Yeah.
So
how did the youngest two people there pull out a $20 bill and just skirt by all this nonsense?
I didn't have so obviously I'm a busy guy. I've been buying a lot of different gym equipment with cash. Like I always have hundreds of dollars cash like available and around. But I exhausted every penny of my cash on a deal buying something recently. I don't remember what it was. Like it was either a log or I don't know, whatever it was. All my cash is gone. And I didn't realize that until like after the bank was closed. I was like, well, I'm not going to a fucking ATM. Like I'll just wing it with no cash this weekend. And yeah, it bit me in the ass, I guess, and had to have this whole altercation with a fucking.
I just saw the new Keith face to me, which Nicole and I absolutely love. The angry, annoyed Keith face. I just look over and hear, I'm not paying a good tip, and I just imagine that face. Odd.
I don't like being rude to people in service, but in my head, it was okay because I already told someone I was gonna do it. Like I already warned, and it's like I didn't have a server the entire week, which was kind of like because obviously every place we went and that just didn't count. I was like, like I will give the person at Shake Shack that like just gave me food more of a tip than I would give you. Like that's ridiculous. And I did tip at the expo because I think I got the barbecue, and I think I did tip. I think I'm pretty sure there was an option to tip there, and I think I did whatever the digital low number, like 10% or something. It's just like,
there's always an option to tip. They'll
yeah, they'll take it.
You gotta tip your spotter on your bench. You gotta tip them too.
Yeah.
Oh, and the way Emily said that ours was done was like very shady. Like
yeah, you said she
was sliding her card or like about to, and she hits the max, whatever the max button was. And I'm not paying attention. You know what I mean? I'm looking at birds or something. But she goes to slide, and then that, you know what I mean? Like it's too late at that point. So she was like, I'm not going to bring it up. So I wish you would have seen it, and then you would have blown the place up or something. So.
No, so we walk in there, and like I think Joey hit it earlier. I think it was Joey or Hogan that said it was like Coyote Ugly, and like I was like it was very provocative, just like wearing nothing, basically wearing underwear and chaps. And like just a bra top. I was like, oh, or a bikini top. I was like, okay.
It's like a rodeo Hooters.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at that. My wife was there, so
yeah. I got I got the Keith head selfie with all the
Nicole. When she heard we were going to PBR, she's been trying to get me to go to the PBR here, and she was so excited. She was more hyped than any of us.
Oh, is that the name of it? Like PBR? Like it's a play on like the Pabst Blue.
I have absolutely no idea what the name is. A play on for
professional bull riding.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, she was stoked.
So next Arnold, we can go to your PBR.
Yeah, she would love. Oh gosh, she'd be excited. Okay, we got to get to the bull ride because I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you all seen from Robo his aftermath
Oh
of that?
God, his hamstring, was that what it was? It looked like his, well, I guess
His
it was,
adductor,
yeah,
abductor, whichever one it is.
like a
That man
10
has
inch bruise on
battle
his leg.
scars.
Yeah.
He said he's afraid to. Hopefully, his coach doesn't listen to Unpaid and Underrated. He lives in
Everyone
the
listens to
UK. His
Unpaid and
coach
Underrated.
does. Yeah, but
The,
he said he's
the
afraid to
Hopefully
tell his
not Mark
coach.
though.
So the whole reason we go there, I think he said like, oh, we hear someone say, "Oh, Robo's going to ride the bull if we go." So we're like, well, we're going to go, and then we make sure everybody goes up. We make our way in. They do a line dance. We watch that. Then we go to the bull. And we figure that out. He gets in line and does it, and he gets off, and he just has this look of horror of what did I just do to myself?
I'm so glad I didn't do it.
We're both wearing the Massonomic shorts, and that offers no protection on this bull. I have so much more respect for the women who are doing it before us in dresses or like also tiny shorts who didn't complain at all and did infinitely better than both of us.
I feel like it behooves them to have a little less aggressive ride, I think, and kind of, I don't know, like you guys got booked pretty hard.
Yeah, I do think they have the button for, okay, you've had your fun, get off now. And then they
Yeah.
just hit the yeet button and you get
Do you have
flung
any
off.
did you have any battle scars, or are you extra sore or
I,
anything? It's kind of hard to
I
tell
didn't
between
commit
what's
as
sore
hard
from
as
the,
he did.
yeah.
I must have, half-assed it because I'm fine. It didn't feel good and it felt like I got some rash going on, but man, it was not
Oh,
anything like that.
you have to
He
talk to your
he
doctor about the rash
ripped.
down there, bud. It's not ideal. Um, like at one point they were like, I think, I don't know if it was just James. James was like trying to spearhead to get me to do it, and he was like, "How much will it take?" And I think I said $100, and then immediately regretted that because like, oh, they could pull together $100 really fucking quick just to watch me
That's the
fucking hurt
cover
myself.
right there.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, it's Brandon's cover, not ours. I don't pay no
Yeah,
fucking
they
tips.
single-handedly could have covered that.
Cover. Um, but yeah, I thought about that for a few minutes, and before James even went, I was just like, "Nah, Brandon, tell him I'm not doing it. Like, I don't know if he's paying for me. Like, it ain't fucking happening." Because like I'm standing here in pain, like my back hurts just standing here, like my neck hurts like constantly. Like I'm not riding this fucking bull.
You did ask if you should wear pants or shorts, and the answer was pants if you were going to do that.
Everyone roasted me for that, and Nate fucking really harped on me this week on the podcast. But like, we literally, it was a thing in Columbus where like there were bars you couldn't go to without jeans. So that's why I brought it up because I didn't want to miss any nightlife or make a group have to pivot on what they do because some asshole didn't have pants. But no one had fucking pants because it was 90 fucking degrees and 100% humidity in fucking Louisville this weekend. It was very uncomfortable.
Here's the solution. You know how they have the jean belts at the
Yes,
so
yes.
have them save like the knee down legs and put elastic on them, and you just carry a pocket full of legs, and someone's like, you don't have pants on, just pull out the legs and slide them up your under your shorts.
That would work. That could work. Uh, so yeah, then I think a lot of us ended. Well, no, I think, well, me and Carp, I think, ended up back at the lounge bar both nights probably, but that's where Carp and Mark had some run-ins. That I think I really don't want to get into that too much because it's more a little pre-show grease. You'll have to just tune in for that because my luck, someone will listen and it'll be a
Yeah.
thing. Like I can't.
That's pretty greasy. But
Yeah,
I did get. That's where I heard the story was at the bar. The
nice.
guy kicked out of the gym story, and
That's a wild one.
I got to witness the Irish goodbye of Tanner. Somebody bought
That
him a
little fucker.
beer. He gets it one of these and sets it down, and then you don't see Tanner again.
So so Tanner did something to me that was a little shitty this weekend. It was really really funny, but it's Grease. So you'll have to ask me or Tanner in person, or have listened to the pre-show of their podcast on Monday. So I'm not really going to deep dive that too much, but needless to say, I had a very small bone to pick with Tanner, but all in good fun. Literally, it was funny what he did, and what I did wasn't even that big of a deal. It was just kind of funny in my head. But Saturday, he had told me, he's like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna get out of here before too long." Like, just kind of trying to keep it to himself because he likes to always Irish goodbye. And then, you know, he's getting ready. We're in a big group. I think it's me, Carp, Brandon, a few other people. I don't remember who it was, and I was like, it's like, all right, Tanner, I'll see you in a couple weeks. After when I knew he was trying to fucking sneak out, and that's when the other guys were like, oh wait, you're leaving, we gotta say goodbye, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Tanner, ruin your
No,
goodbye, you
no,
fucker.
I'm just going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow you to the bathroom.
I was like, granted, what you did to me was significantly worse, but I got you slightly back, you fuck. So I enjoyed that. Feel like we're missing some stuff. What did we do? We did the dinners there on Saturday. I don't know. I definitely Saturday night. I'm pretty proud of myself. Everyone always gives me shit for going to bed at 10 o'clock at night or whatever. I didn't get to my room until after midnight on Saturday, and I think I had collectively for the weekend. I think I had 7 or 8 beers total. So for me, that's a lot. I didn't ever really get more than a very very mild buzz. Oh my god, I will shit on one person because I don't know who he is. Uh, Me and Man Who Parks and Jim had a conversation with the drunkest motherfucker I've ever talked to in my fucking life. I have never, to the point that like I almost like were there medications or other drugs involved because I don't know that booze gets you that fucking stupid. This guy couldn't. I mean, he had the wobble. He was swaying the left to right sway, like just the. It was just it was hysterical. But it was also very annoying because it was just like he just kind of cornered us like the other guy does and just yippity. And he was talking about, we were talking about Man Who Parks and Jim's podcast, Jason's podcast. And he was like, he was trying to give him advice when he knew it was like lifting adjacent kind of and home gym related. And he was like, you should do a whole episode on gear and SARMs. And he wanted to proceed to tell us about his experience with steroids. And I'm not in good shape. I don't look like I lift. This kid did not look like that either. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about steroids with some like I don't need that conversation. So it's just that was been kind of a running joke. Jason and I have just gears and SARM just because this kid was hands down the drunkest person I have seen since probably like high school. Like when someone's just like blackout drunk. So that was interesting. But yeah, I just enjoyed the Galt House and being able to have that hotel downstairs. The worst part about it. Let's see, who else did you stay at the Galt House, Carp?
Yeah, we did. We were in
so
the West Tower, which is where all the Barbie people were.
Yeah, was that the one across? That was the lesser tower.
Not on the main road going to the commitment.
Yeah. I was in that one too. So the shitty part about the one shitty part was because the huge convention is like a mile apart, and there was 2 blocks away, and so like it wasn't just us there. I mean, there was literally thousands and thousands of people at that hotel. So and it's 20 plus stories per elevator or per wing, per tower, and there's 4 elevators per floor or 4 elevators per tower. We couldn't get to our fucking room. Like there was a gridlock at like 11 o'clock on Friday night to try to get upstairs. Like it was literally impossible. So it was me, Jason, and Big Robo. And we're just standing there and we're trying to troubleshoot it because we're on the 3rd floor and we're like, because the elevator just kept coming and it was like full of people from like the lobby and no one was getting off. So like there was no possible way you were ever going to catch an elevator there. At best, you might catch it on the way down, have to ride it down and then come back up. But like we were there for 5 minutes and like 2 people got on because no one would get off. So we went down to the 2nd floor hoping to catch it before it got to that gridlock. We're there for several minutes, no luck. I thought about going down to the lobby. The lobby had hundreds of people in it, in line, like 30 people deep per elevator. I'm like, fuck that. So we were about to start just walking. Like I think we were all like on like 17, 19, and 21. So like it would have been impossible, but I figured maybe we could get up like 5 floors and have better luck catching an elevator. There was a dude working, and James was like, hey man, you want to hook us up with that freight elevator? And he was like, no, I can't do that. And he kind of sweet talked him into it. And the motherfucker took us into the back room, literally got us on the service elevator, and then took us up to our floors. But he kind of got a little annoyed when he realized we were all on 3 different floors, and he had to get off the elevator, walk us out, key us out of like the kitchen area each time. And the whole time he was talking about how he's going to get in trouble for doing this. And I was like, dude, like, don't do it then. Like 100%, like just let us like, go away. Like we do not want to get you in trouble. This is fucking stupid if you're going to get in trouble. And he's like, no, it's fine. But I know I'm going to get a phone call from the security guy who's just watching me right now, motherfucking me. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, that was great. Like James, if you're listening to this, buddy, that was clutch that you got us, like you saved us literally 15, 20 minutes that night to get up into the room. Had no issue getting the to elevator Saturdays. Maybe all the Barbie crew had dipped out by then or it was just a lot later. Because I swear I think I was out till 11 on Friday and after midnight on Saturdays. I don't know,
It's
but
bedtime.
That did that did was Thursday night, but that did remind me of a story. I think Joey was there. He's already gone, but I think he saw some of it. We went out to dinner with Jeff and Perrin. Also, they're in Gluck's Discord too. So I was wearing the Massonomics Dark Side of the Plate or Pink Floyd shirt or whatever you want
yeah.
to call it. So the Barbie folks love that. We had our little
That's right up their alley.
our little credentials on, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are first timers. You guys coming to the Barbie show, or whatever?" And we're like, not wearing anything Barbie. I just have that one shirt with a rainbow on it, and they're like, they cannot understand. I'm like, most of y'all are older. You should understand Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, whatever. Like it's a to play on the plate or whatever. And there's so many people that had no clue that they like it's a spoof of an album cover, man. It's a famous album cover. Like they thought we were part of the Barbie convention because of my shirt. So that was a
That is
running
really
joke
funny.
for a couple days.
That is great. What do you guys think about Louisville as just a town in general? Like, would you like to do the home gym con there again? Anything that stuck out to you when you were walking to and from the convention? I will say, like, there's crackheads everywhere, but there was a lot of crackheads there.
That's what we're known for.
But Brandon did warn me in Columbus that like it's very hot, basically just like I mean I'm sure most cities are like that. Just be careful what street you walk down. But there was a fair amount of people walking down the street, scratching their faces, talking to themselves, or laying on the ground, just sprawled out on the concrete. It's very
Hanging
I
out in
don't
front of the Love Boutique.
yeah.
We call them urban outdoorsmen.
There you go. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, and you're gonna have that anywhere, so that's not a knock on Jake picking Louisville by any means. It's just it was something worth commenting because Brandon and I talked about it going into it. Just kind of warned me to like essentially just watch your back and kind of be careful. But I mean, everyone seemed harmless. There can't be that
I
many.
think in that area, like, because there's already something in Nashville, like a fitness event in Nashville. There's already a fitness event in Columbus. Like, if you're going to be in that relative area, the only other thing I would think would be Indianapolis, but I don't think that has the same size that he's needing. You might as well pick French Lick at that point. So I can't imagine it being anywhere else. I think it'd be pretty tough to find a better spot for what he's needing to do too, because he can't have it. I mean, it's a lot harder for Jake if it's multiple states away.
Yeah.
I think Louisville's a good spot too because you kind of pull people
Well,
from.
of course you do. You're fucking 20 minutes away,
Oh,
dickhead.
yeah, I don't
We
want
don't.
to-
I don't think you're having a valid opinion
Hey,
here.
actually, I wasn't the closest crew member though to Home Gym Con. That would have been Big Jakey, as heard in.
Oh yeah, well he just moved there though. Well, he was because he was crossing the border to get there. But that
Yeah.
is that is what's cool. Like I've flown into Louisville 3 times. Well, yeah, 3 times now, and like didn't have to immediately get on a rental car and drive like 90 minutes across the bridge and everything. So being able to like sit in the hotel and like look out and like see the bridge and the water. I'm assuming when I'm leaving Louisville, it's that big ass bridge that I see from the Galt House, isn't it? Or is that just
All right, Keith. All right, Brandon, we need to do a lesson here. I've heard this bastardization of the name enough. I
Okay.
hear
Yeah.
every video, everyone's getting it wrong.
Yeah.
It's Louisville.
Yeah. It's
that's
Louisville.
no
Louisville.
it's Louisville.
Yeah, they even had
No.
the sign in the convention
No.
center
Yeah.
It's
on the
Louisville.
far
So-
side.
Yeah, there's
I will
literally
say-
they have a pronunciation sign at the convention.
Absolutely. There is. Yeah. Actually,
Well,
side
we
note,
had a whole conversation about this, I think, at some point over the weekend.
yeah, we did it. I think it was in Flavortown
This is going to be a real.
because it's like the correct pronunciation is more than likely probably Louisville because it's King Louis. However, like the people that live there, it's Louisville.
Because
Yeah,
also
yes.
Kentucky, you got Versailles, which is a play on Versailles.
Right.
It's Louisville.
Yeah. We have.
You got to say it like you have a mouthful of Zins.
Yeah, you need
Exactly.
marbles in your mouth. You skip some steps.
Louisville. Louisville.
I try.
Louisville. Yeah, the deeper you get that Lowell, that you got it right.
Louisville.
Yeah, it's
that's
gonna
like
be a
that hurts my
Kentucky
throat to
thing.
say it that way. That's just
Because
awkward.
we also have a town a couple hours away called Lancaster, but everyone there calls it Lancaster.
Mhm.
So
Or Perville. You got Perryville.
Yeah,
got
exactly.
Perville.
yeah,
Horrible.
One of my favorite things I think this weekend was Big Jakey. He had come up to me. We were shooting the shit, and he had this is the whole like will toot my own horn here and unpaid and underrated horn, like not mine, like what Joey and I have done and built here the last few years. Jakey was like, I've had multiple people come up because his episode had just hit like that Tuesday, and this would have been Friday, and he was like, multiple people have came up to me as like an icebreaker and like talked about my podcast. I was like, that's really awesome. Like, that's proof is in the pudding. That's why we do this. So
yeah, I literally finished that podcast when I was pulling into the parking garage for
Nice.
home Gym Con. So it was kind of like perfect. And like that morning is when I saw Jakey. So that was probably one of the few he was talking about. Just
that's pretty cool. Big Man, you've been quiet, buddy. What did your nightlife look like? Did you guys pack it up and start heading? Oh, you were there because you were talking about eating food the next morning. So I don't know where you disappeared to Saturday.
Oh, Saturday was the day I had the really fun time. I had ordered a shitload of stuff that was supposed to come in the mail like
Oh yeah.
this week. And on Friday, when we were halfway across Indiana, I get a notification that, hey, by the way, your Pioneer buckle for your new belt that was supposed to be here on Wednesday is being delivered to your house while you're gone, as well as a brand new camera, as well as some other stuff and some Rachel stuff. And I'm like, we told them to hold packages. And so I check it and it's like, oh, it's been delivered, picked up at the post office by individual. So that whole process, trying to figure that out on a day when they're not open. Luckily, when we got home, they did hold it all. Whoever rings up stuff doesn't know how to mark stuff on there because we have new postal carriers in our town.
Yeah.
And so they're ringing it up wrong and making me freak the hell out that I got like thousands of dollars worth of shit sitting on a dark front porch in a college town. Not about that life, but I don't go out anyway. I don't drink. I worked as a bouncer, so I'm not a big fan of being in clubs unless I'm getting paid for it. And so we ended up just going back to the hotel. We stayed at a hotel on the opposite end from where you guys were. And it wasn't anything fancy. It was just like Best Western kind of thing. Talked about the crackheads. We were right across the street from a gas station, so we went over there. It wasn't crackheads, but there was a bunch of like white dudes dressed like Malibu's Most Wanted trying to sell some kind of alcohol to somebody that either looked like minors or really tiny college girls out of the trunk of a car inside of the Shell station.
that's the best stuff you can get. You all should get that for sure.
Well, the thing was, what it sounded like he was selling was
Comes out a
just
cover charge at least, right?
he had like a duffel bag of buzz balls.
Oh,
And he's like, I got this, I got this, I got this. And I'm like, or you can just fucking go inside and not have to worry about what this dude's been rubbing
What's this
on him.
fucking laced with? Yeah. That's scary.
But it was weird because at the same time we went inside and there's like 5 families because the first night, I don't know if you guys realize this, the reason why it was so packed the first night, there was a Savannah Bananas game in town. So like as people outside are selling illicit alcohol out of trunks of cars, and then you go inside the gas station and there's like 5 10-year-old kids with Savannah Banana stuff buying Gatorades.
For all the crew and Big Keith, what the fuck's a Savannah banana?
You don't know the bananas?
I have not a clue what you're talking about at all.
Dude, you would love the bananas.
It's what if baseball sucked less to watch?
Okay.
They have a bunch of rules to make baseball fast and more about entertainment, and it's like its own little league. Look them up on YouTube. Watch a banana game.
The biggest thing that I think is the greatest choice with them is 2-hour time limit. At the end of 2 hours, whoever has won the most innings by outscoring the other team in that inning wins the game, whether the game makes it 9 innings or 4 innings.
I really like if a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out. That is
Oh, that's cool.
very fun.
Yeah,
So
and you can't leave the batter's box. There's no pitcher's mound visits.
It's a whole. Is it like the Harlem Globetrotters, or is it like a whole league?
They
that do this?
explicitly are trying to not. Well, okay, they do tricks too, but they are very much trying to create an actual league out of it. Like there is a guy who walks out on stilts. He is like 15 feet in the air, and his batter box is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up because I don't know.
We've sidebarred, but I love it.
Yeah. But pretty much I just went back, sat in the hotel, turned the air conditioner as low as it could get, sat next to it.
That wasn't ideal. When I got to the room Friday, they had it at like 73, so it just hadn't been on all day. And I'm like, you fuckers. So I cranked that down, and at least when I came back a few hours later, it was a little chiller. Anything jumping out anyone wants to hit on? We can probably wrap this up shortly. I know Hogan's got to get off, so we'll at least let him close us out and close out what he has, and then we'll see what the three of us can bring it in after that. If there's anything glaring that we missed.
Only thing I would add is the strongman show. I thought it was really cool as a volunteer to watch the crew members who competed. So Hogan, I think it was the new Gabe competed. Rory competed. Did I miss anybody, Hogan?
I think we have another Matt, right?
Oh yeah,
but not that Matt. Or am I getting it wrong?
the other Matt.
Yeah, Matt. It's Big Matthew. No, not that one.
Okay, gotcha.
That's
Okay,
funny.
so I thought that was really cool though, because it was like every time like Hogan would come up, or if Rory came over, like pulling my phone out, recording, because I was like, I have more investment in this, and it was really cool to watch those guys compete. So just brings more just that crew atmosphere, and just be more a part of it, which was pretty neat. So just wanted to add that.
And to kind of, I wanted to tell everybody who was there to watch, thank you for that. Like we all talk about the powerlifting side or the strongman side. Like we go out there and you put all that effort in, and we all know how many hours you put into this. And it's really validating when people are cheering and having a good time. Especially strongman. It's a show. Like I go out there to do something for other people to see. And that's why I kept saying the whole time, what can we do to make it more entertaining? And I think Kurt does a tremendous job at trying to do that. And nothing, and I got to give a shout out to Scott Dodds, sweetest man. I got my
He literally
deadlift,
zoomed you at dinner, yeah.
my 495, which I've been prepping for 6 months.
That's awesome.
To pull that, and
Clean.
I grind the hell out of that. And in very uncharacteristic fashion of me, I pull a big Keith with my screaming and hollering. I saw you do your sandbags the other day, and I felt like that's the kind of reaction I had.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I get a
I'll have to check that out.
FaceTime from Scott later that evening, or that evening.
Yeah,
and,
it was in Smashburger because I made a joke about it. Was he shitting at work again when he was on the phone?
And he wanted to tell me congratulations, and I think that really like that's the whole thing here. Like I say that every time I join this for crew.
Absolutely.
The Massonomics is great, but I joined it for crew, and I think Home Gym Con is a great place for us all to get together and spend time. Probably the next closest thing is going to be Lift Hard to what the amount of connection you're going to have.
Yeah, it's more intimate than the Arnold after this. Like this year, I felt I mean the Arnold there was more downtime, but there was just less people at the booth because a lot of people that came to the Arnold came to like go watch strongman. So you only saw them like I think I saw or compete. I saw Katie and Tyler like minutes over the week. Whereas spent hours with some of you guys. So yeah, I think it belongs in the Mount Rushmore of crew events. If it's not going to be the third spot, it's gonna it might eclipse. I don't know. Yeah, you got Lift Hard Live Easy, you got Crew Falls, you got the Arnold, and now Home Gym Con. And you can't take anything away from Home Gym Con. I think it's more, if not better than any of those, or at least it's up there. So I just hope Jake keeps having it. Ideally, it's not 2 weeks before Lift Hard Live Easy next time. I don't know when it's going to be next year, but hopefully he at least doesn't have the same weekend. I mean, I think I would make every effort to come as long as there's at least a 2 week gap. I think that's the minimum. Like we had it at a 3 week gap. I think if it was a 2 week gap, it'd be a lot harder to pull the trigger. But yeah, I appreciate you.
I hear rumors of fall.
I did hear that, and I mentioned it in a chat, and no one really reminded me if that was because I was like, didn't I hear Jake say this? And no one. It was one of those,
I just heard rumors of it, and that's fine with me.
yeah, the fall, like big carp fall, but no, like the season.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I got
brother.
head out. Thank
Yep.
y'all.
Good night, buddy. Appreciate you getting on. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep. Sounds good, guys.
All right. We can.
Yeah.
So it's down to three of us. So anything, everyone can kind of give their. If you want to, whatever you want. You got carte blanche. If you want to, anything that stuck out, anything funny, anything stupid, anything you. Justin, did you bring anything home, buddy?
Just my belt. That's it.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna get some stuff, but then I'm looking around my gym going, this gym is the size of my Prius. I'm pretty much maxed out on space. It's the thing about going to those events like that is like going to the Arnold, you get a shitload of energy drinks. And at least energy drinks I can use. But I'm in here going, man, I have all these machines I want. I'm gonna have to buy a whole nother house just to store
Yeah.
them. But it is cool. It's like, when you get to go to a car dealership and they have like luxury cars you're never gonna buy. Like, oh, so that's what it feels like to sit in this thing.
Nothing like the feeling of sitting on a bull, though. Probably. Um, yeah, like that was awesome that you were able to that you were willing to help them out. It sounded like you got a little more experience doing it too. So now, I mean, I hope it was lucrative for you, or that it can be in the future if it's something you want to do for other people. Because, I mean, even if Tanner's like, you could probably sell your services next year to like, uh, if they don't need you next year, I'm sure you could, if that's something you're interested in, like if doing it as a side gig to actually be lucrative or not. But all your video turned out great. I didn't, you couldn't tell that it wasn't their camera or their setup or, Tommy behind the camera. So,
Well, I know this year, right after they asked me at the Arnold, about the next day, I got a message from Kurt asking about streaming the
oh yeah,
competitions. So I told him this year, this next time, if it's at the same time, the reason like the last couple of years I haven't been able to go because it's always been during the school year, and it's always like last year it fell on my solo and ensemble contest day, so I have my
yeah,
kids
we
going
telling
to
us that.
state
Yeah,
contest.
yeah, we talked about
But
that.
if it stays off that kind of thing, it's like hell, out in 3 hour drive, I'll come out and stream shit. Just let me know.
Cool beans. Any anything you regret not spending more time at, or anything like that, or anything you wish you'd gone back to and forgot, or anything like that? I kind of feel like that's always in the back of my head. I was like, oh man, I should have done this or should have done that.
I do feel like I spent just most of my time in that front half,
Mm-hmm.
like from the strongman stuff over to Bells of Steel.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff down the back aisle on the right hand side up against the wall that I walked by. I saw I'm gonna come back and check that out, and I just fucking forgot. Oh, I will say this though. The bathrooms way nicer than the Arnold.
Yeah, for sure.
There was some guy having an exorcism in there, but the whole bathroom was just spotless, minus the random humorous graffiti on the walls.
Well, I
But
missed the graffiti. Was it Arnold bathroom stickers? Is that what it was?
no, it was just someone wrote on Sharpie, "Who the fuck brings a Sharpie in the bathroom?" And then someone in a different color, "I do, motherfucker." And then on the wall, a giant penis in orange. I figured that was you, being that it was in orange.
I thought
should
you
take a
just
picture of
traced
that.
yours.
You should. Oh,
It was a little high on the wall.
that's great. Like 30-second sidebar. I was walking a college dorm today doing one of our installs, and the site map on the elevator of like the building layout, it was a cock. Like the entire building was a shaft with a fucking ball sack and even like a little tip on the map. And I'm like, this is the most phallic fucking like diagram of a building I've ever seen in my life. It is a literal like cock and balls. I was just hysterical. So, but no, I did not orange Sharpie a dick at the Arnold, but yeah, or at home gym con. But yeah, the bathrooms were spotless. There was literally like an army of people keeping them clean the whole time we were there. Probably like I think it's like half of Jake's budget must have been into keeping the bathrooms clean because there was multiple staff. It looked like, so that was pretty cool. I don't know. I had a great time. I didn't pick up a ton. I didn't. The highlights for me, I guess, would be Marcus from 922 Designs, I believe it is, or 922 Customs. He got those rack badges that he reached out to me a month or so ago about making. Had a ton of back and forth, so he put a lot of effort into them, which was pretty dope. That he worked with me on my logo because like I sent him over my files, and then like what I wanted versus what my logo wasn't really a thing. So then he had to like crop and edit and shrink and expand and lengthen, et cetera, to like get it to be what actually was something that I wanted and would pay money for. So he put a ton of time in that. It was really cool to meet him, shoot the shit. Check him out if that's something you're interested in. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, Brandon got some too. It's if you want to explain to him what specifically it is.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of little stuff at Home Gym Con, but that was probably one of my favorite things was first of all, Marcus. I'd never met him before, but I'd followed his channel. Little shout out to I think it's Twisted Barbell maybe on YouTube.
That or Twisted Metal, Twisted something.
Twisted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't Twisted something. Yes.
922 Designs. He does awesome work. I actually saw walking by. I saw Keith's badge, the no wine cellar, his badges that he actually ended up receiving. And I was just talking to Marcus and picking his brain a little bit about like what we could do with my gym logo, just because my gym logo is not as just, you know, there's a lot of extra stuff in it. So I wanted to make sure we could just get kind of the heart of the gym logo, but spread out to where it could be for my face savers on my combo rack. And I mean, he sat down with me for like 10 minutes, and you could tell he's like done this before.
Oh yeah,
very professional. The pricing was really, really good. So definitely check.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I first saw him on Friday, he like started to pack up my badges and give them to me. I was like, no. This is like, you need these because you don't have a ton of shit on display. In my head, that's what I said. And then like, that's free advertising for me. Like I want people to walk by and see like multiple things that say they're in a wine cellar and be like, that's fucking cool. He said he said he had a few people that wanted to buy my badge just because they thought like that just that name was cool and like had no familiarity. That's not a word. Someone else, something like that. Without
tertiary.
Yeah, thirsty airy. I was fucking thirsty airy lots of times. But yeah, the other thing I bought some shirts from Kim at Barbell Rescue. Like I already mentioned, I got the shaft cleaner. I think you did too, actually. And then I bought the leather lifting straps from Belt Fed Strength from Chris. And like if anyone's familiar at Home Gym Con, like Chris makes you make your own straps. Like because obviously it's straps, you got a left and a right, and you got a pair. So he'll do one, and then he immediately looks at you and makes you do like the other one. So it was kind of cool. Like literally, I felt like I was working with like my dad or something. Basically, I think Chris is my age, but like just like the way it was just like this like father figure, just like teacher, and importing this, and instilling this wisdom of how to make them. I just thought that was really cool, and it was like a 10 to 15 minute like a thing that he like takes his time away to like do it and like tries to teach you a little bit about his tools and stuff. And it was kind of cool like seeing like some of the shit. I was like, oh, I fucked it up, and he's like, it's copper, just it'll pound out. So like getting the little rivets to like perfectly like not be mushroomed and stuff, just like bang 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 bang, and it's like completely smooth, and then making the rivets nice and perfect. So I was very happy with those. And I think I pulled the deadlift party, I had jumped in on that because I had missed the log lift. Like I think I got there and the log lift was like starting within minutes, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing the log lift because I don't have any of my gear and I'm exhausted. And the most I could do raw would be like like 180 or something, maybe 175. I was like, I don't want to go out there and just do that lighter weight. So I didn't do the log lift, but then the deadlift party I jumped in on the next day, which I didn't think I would, but I was like, just fuck it. I actually wore Big Joey's soft belt from Belt Fed Strength. So kudos to myself. I think I'm the same body weight as I was last year, but I must have a slightly smaller stomach. So strong man, making my fat belly turn into a little bit of back muscle, which is cool because the exact same belt that Joey had. I'm going to tell myself it's the exact same belt because Chris gave him or sold him one last year and it was purple too. So to me, it had to be the exact same belt. Like I couldn't even get that fucker around my girthy stomach last year, whereas this year it was like an inch too big. So I was very happy that experience. So I wore Joey's belt for deadlifts. And then actually borrowed his straps too because I was like, oh, I have no reason to like hook grip and rip my fucking thumbs open or anything like that. So, and I'm strongman now. So strongman's where strongman only use deadlift straps. So I worked up to just under my max on a regular deadlift with straps. So and like completely like did I did like 4 lifts and just like worked up like boom 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 boom. So I was pretty stoked about that. But Chris's lifting straps were dope. I had already put mine back in the hotel, so I didn't use mine on that lift, but Big Joey let me borrow his straps, which were literally the identical ones. They were just a couple years old, so excited for that. I think that's about it. I know this wasn't as funny as an episode as we usually get, guys. I mean, usually we're thrice as funny as we were tonight, but I've tried. Did my best here to hold it all together with these chatty Cathys over here. Anything in closing you guys want to hit before we start doing the thing?
Nope.
You gonna come back to Home Gym Con next year? Okay, here's one. After the experience you had, how far would you drive to go do this same event again if it was basically identical? Give or take, like you wouldn't if you're driving in, you wouldn't have to spot and load or anything, and you could just come and have a boys' weekend essentially.
I think I would drive a fair amount. I mean, I drove about 4.5 hours to the Arnold.
All right. Would you drive 5 hours to Home Gym Con?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you drive? I'm not going to go any farther than that. That's just so that basically puts it to where he would put it on par, if not better than the Arnold for the crew experience, which is pretty
Absolutely.
awesome. And then just the home gym aspect is just, to me, it's everything in one. Like the first year was mostly the home gym stuff, but even it was then for me, it was like the community that I had built with like being on Garage Gym Radio podcast with Jake and Carp and a bunch of other guys, and like becoming like good in person friends with them. But like before the first year, I'd never met any of them, so that was. But I don't know. This just Jake, you're doing a great job. We appreciate you allowing us to have an opportunity to come together as friends. The equipment's cool and all, and like you obviously need the equipment to have the expo, but like I don't really give a fuck about the equipment. I come to hang out with my homies. Like that is my world. The home gym scene. It's fun to come hang out with, and it's all essential. But to me, you know, it's mainly about the homies. Big Justin, in closing, bud.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the driving out to go to this because, like talked about earlier, with the never been to Crew Falls. It's always falls at a bad time for me. But the Live Hard, Live Easy, Arnold's a good spot to meet crew people, but it is too packed and too crazy to really get anything sufficient. So you really have to rely on the after hours stuff. And me being a not after hours person, it's a lot harder. But this one, it was enough stuff and enough space that we could have accommodated many more people in there and still not been overwhelming, except for people who are the most, socially sensitive in being in big public spaces. It was busy, but it was also really funny too because as I'm walking around watching people, it's like every booth is somebody who is an Instagram fitness influencer talking to somebody, and I'm just going like, I recognize that person and that person, and they're all people that we know, but like and the booths too, like all the people we talk to for the most time are all the friends of the crew anyway. So
For
like,
sure.
I've talked to them at Barefoot quite a bit, and this is my first time talking with Barbell Rescue and Belt Fed.
Yeah, they're both great dudes.
Yeah, but it's there's nobody there like the same with the Arnold too. I've never met somebody who's a legitimate jerk.
Yeah, I was gonna see if there was any grease there. Did outside of just Tanner talking to the guy at Titan that didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Was there anything that stuck out like that was like inner circle knowledge? Well, you probably you shouldn't share it if you're gonna get in trouble, but
no, I mean realistically, like everyone we talked to was super excited.
that's
And like
awesome.
I said in the Discord, I felt really, the guys that dialed, I'm really excited for them because they seemed like if you guys I mentioned in there, if the game No Man's Sky, the guy who made that game, the guy who made the game got stuck being the PR guy, and he is not a people person. And so he is like just awkward positions on live TV, like with Tonight Show and all this stuff. That's how those guys felt. They were really good, knowledgeable people making really cool stuff who just really excited to tell you about it. And they might not be your PR people from like the guy from Temple of Games, Yanni. He was so awesome to talk to. Because he's a talker, and those guys are doers. They make the stuff, they design the stuff, they put it together, and they make it work. And they know everything about it, but they got that like adorable bashfulness to when they're talking about it.
Yeah, sometimes like when you got something up here, like to get it out of your mouth, like when you're trying to explaining it, they're trying. It's like there's that disconnect. So, and a lot of those guys didn't expect to be on camera all day.
Definitely,
and most of them were. I mean, because like Massonomics has videos on Titan Fitness, and so will Gluck, and so will Coop, and all of them are going to have like that same similar content, over and over.
Yeah.
Again. So they're probably talking.
I do feel that like the content creators need to do something a little like if you do the same if everyone does the same interview and asks the same questions, like I don't give a I don't give a fuck about your it needs to be funny. You need to interview the people. It needs to be more about the actual I mean, granted, like we're different because we're like the sub niche of a sub niche of a sub niche that actually care about the community more than we do. I want to watch this video to see if I want to spend $1,000 on this piece of equipment or not. Like And it's easy for the content creators to come and do like 30 pieces of equipment at once without having to buy it. So like I get it. I get how it is, like that is the game, but like I only care about the content coming out that like has all of us in the background and like shows nightlight stuff and stuff. I don't want to watch someone compare the three pieces of equipment that are similar. Like I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Like not even a little bit. Like I'll still watch it, but like I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna buy any of that equipment ever. More than likely, like these big
I
ass
don't care
machines.
about the stretched position. I heard that term like 38 times. Like, no, this one's better in the stretch position. I don't care. Just give me a barbell and some buddies. Like,
Oh, how's that? How do you like your new barbell? You got a?
oh yeah. So both James and I, Robo, picked up the ATX. It says it's competition powerlifting. I need to actually do some research because I'm not exactly sure. It's got the wider collar, so it's definitely not like. I know they have a lot of IPF logoing and stuff on their website, but this is not an IPF bar. The collars are so it's not. But it's the what's the guy's name who runs ATX or who's at the
Flo.
Flo. So he was saying that it's a bare steel bar. It looks stainless though, so I'm not sure. But
$150, $150.
Yeah, $150 barbell. I mean,
goddamn.
So it's good. I'm also have not ownership, but I'm holding on to Robo's bar until I see him next.
Oh yeah.
So I can ship it out to him.
Well, I mean, if that's strained, he might not recover from that fucking bull ride, man.
He
like
might
that,
just give up powerlifting altogether.
I know he might just be like, this ain't for me, man. Just give me $70. You can have. Well, I mean, technically it's your bar. Like I mean,
I'll just throw it in
gonna,
the landmine.
He's gonna come down and beat you up. He ain't gonna do shit. It's your bar.
Yeah.
All right. I think Nate's gonna come kick us off. If we don't wrap this up here. Oh, there. Speak of the devil.
What do you want from me?
Oh, just your friendship and your hugs. I wish I could hug you someday. It's been like it's 2 years in the making. I don't know when I'm ever gonna get to hug you, but someday. I don't know. Maybe you'll make it out somewhere, some point in the future. But
someone would just invite me.
I mean, Big Stephanie's taking up the other bed in our room, so you can't have that.
There's always a floor.
And anyone that travels,
your wife is coming?
Yes, that is the goal.
Cool.
There's like it used to be a 69% chance. There's like an 89 chance she's coming, just because she has some work related stuff that may impede. But most.
I didn't realize she was coming again this year.
Yeah. She's always been on the agenda. Like we got tickets to come. It's just like immediately she's like right after we booked it, she had like 3 subpoenas that all like fall within like a week of the trip. That like and everything so far is. She still has one trial, but it's like a local one. So like worst case, she like has to testify on Wednesday and we fly out Thursday, which would suck, but it's better than her getting to have to go to like Arizona on Monday and have to fly out of Lift Hard Live Easy like Sunday night to go to another state. Because she's like, yeah, fuck that. I'll cancel Lift Hard Live Easy before I do that. And I was like, I understand.
One can simply not cancel Lift Hard Live Easy.
Yeah, but
Megan would hate to see that.
Yep. But yeah, I think I have rambled on enough. I'm gonna hit you with our affiliates, everybody. So Obsidian Ammonia.
Oh, you guys are still in the episode? Jeez,
give us 30 seconds, Nate.
I came in here, I thought you guys were all done. You guys are still.
You'll probably cut this out.
Gosh.
You'll think this isn't any good. You'll cut this out.
Keith said they're wrapping up. I thought they were just talking.
No, like wrapping up.
Recording an episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hi, that means I get to go on the graphic. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. And since you're here,
Big Nate here.
Unpaid or overrated or underrated. The term tertiary.
Tertiary?
What does it mean? Do you know what it means?
It's like
define it perfectly.
Define it perfectly?
Yes, because
I don't know if I can do that. Like,
don't be Googling shit.
For first, second, tertiary. It's like an additional option.
But specifically meaning like which number?
Turd.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't know that. That was
tertiary, right?
Turd. TRD. Turd.
Yeah. That's how you spell it.
Nate's smarter than me. Okay.
Well, hi. Welcome to the podcast. This is Unpaid and Underrated. It's Big Nate here. It's the podcast by crew for crew, often mocked by the crew.
Can you do the affiliate ad reads without a sheet?
I can't, but I have it right here in front of me. You can check out our affiliates, Obsidian Ammonia, Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks, Home Gym Con, Belt Fed Strength, Freedom Fitness Equipment, and the Strength Co. You can get apparel from the Strength Co. Help that boy on a boat. Kick him some cash and help him buy whatever he buys on boats. I don't know what they buy on boats anymore, but use code unpaid at those places. You might save some money. You might not. I don't know how this stuff works. I just hop on podcasts while they're still recording like a professional.
It's the tertiary time this has happened, probably. Big Justin, where you at, buddy?
Mini action Jesus on Instagram, and yeah, that's about it because I'm lazy. Also, twitch.tv/mini lifts.
That's right. You're a big Twitch guy still. Brandon, where you at, man?
You can follow me on O'Doyle_basement_lifts on Instagram.
And Nate, who are you?
That's just a part of this episode now. Home
great.
Gym Con was great. I loved it. It was my favorite thing. Make sure to follow me
Why didn't
on.
you could have came. Like you were
I
talking
couldn't.
about
I told you. I explained why I couldn't come. I
Oh yeah, you had a
I had
flower.
previously
You had to-
committed to
yes.
working a wedding, which was the world's hottest. Just I sweat so much. I didn't have to work out the next day. It was a sauna. Yeah, find me online wherever. Find me at Coop's Budget Gym YouTube channel.
Co-op. Sidebar. Have you got your ceiling fixed yet?
What, in my garage?
Yeah.
No, there's
Nice.
just a hole.
Is it just caution? Did you at least like tear some of it down, or because like before you?
Yeah.
were, like,
It is
Okay,
just a
so
hole. There's just
it's-
where that sheet of drywall was hanging. There's now just a hole.
Yeah, it's all good. You don't need that.
Yeah, it's like over in the corner. No, it's
Yeah.
over the mower, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, still don't know why why Ryan did that to your gym, but I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
shitty of him. But
That jerk.
son of a gun. All right, I'm Keith Honeygut 73 on Instagram, and more importantly, go follow all the other stuff that I just forgot to mention. So, unpaid intern podcast.com, unpaid and underrated podcast on Instagram, YouTube. Nate's mad because I don't have anything there, but I went to go try to get the actual like URL and it just seemed stupid to say. So just go over to YouTube and find unpaid and underrated podcast.
Hey, listen, if you go
I think it's
to
the unpaid and underrated podcast. But
you go to unpaidinternpodcast.com, it's probably linked there somewhere,
yeah,
maybe.
why don't you just do all that and then I can just say go to the website? You know,
I've always done that. I've always said that. I'll never stop saying that. Always go to the website.
I mean, is it
Glazesearch.com, strongmanscoreboard.com, yeah, tatesounds.com. Now that it's all the websites
sponsored by Lead FTS. More importantly, go follow the No Wine Cellar, and we'll see you next Tuesday. We got to see if there's any good post show dirt because we don't. Well, I wish we had recorded the intro or the Nate trying to help me out with my laptop for fucking 20 minutes for me to realize that it wasn't happening tonight. My laptop.
Hey, listen, I've tried for 20 minutes and realized it wasn't happening tonight, so we've all been there.
Why won't you stay up?
Oh, jeez. No, I figured out why I couldn't get my other computer to stand up to do your remote session because I went to switch my mic over and unplug the HDMI cable from that computer by accident. So I kept trying to switch it on the monitor and it wouldn't switch over. And I walked upstairs and I just saw it hanging off the back of the monitor. I was like, oh. That's the problem. That's why I can't remote in.
How does one fully close Discord? Because I hit the red X, it just goes back down to the bottom. But then I'm still getting obnoxious fucking beeps.
We need to have a whole lesson. But so to truly quit something in macOS, there's like there's a few ways to do it here.
Let's deal with it later.
I'm just going to show you because you're going to need to do this in the next few days. So let me just show you how that works real quick.
Fuck, the beeping is getting louder.
So if you're on here, let's pull Discord over. So this red X in macOS, can you see this, Keith?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what as I've clicked it like 20 times, it just fucking sends it back down to the start menu.
So you can click the X, which is fine. You're closing Windows. The application's still running, which I think is the way computers should be run. So does Steve Jobs, but he's dead. You can right click on an icon in down here and you can click quit. That'll quit the application. You can go over in the top right in your menu bar and click on the application name and you can say quit Discord. And then also up there, there is your keyboard shortcuts in your menu bar. And my favorite is just Command Q is how I quit everything.
And it only does the one you have like the top.
Whatever. So macOS is different than Windows because you have this menu bar, so you can kind of see what your active window is based on what's up there in the top left. So yeah, if you hit Command Q right now, Discord's active, it would kill Discord.
Interesting.
But like if you were in Zoom, it would kill Zoom. But you can also just like right click on the app down here and quit it that way as well. But yeah, it's
click those. I have to it's not don't want to do right.
yeah, if you right click or on a trackpad, like double click with 2 fingers or however you set it up.
I'll have to learn that because it's not doing shit. It's just
sometimes
oh, there we go. That was difficult. Oh, okay. Quit. Fuck you, Discord.
But then also, I guess I should show you. The other thing you can do is all of the focus modes that you have set up on your phone can share over to your Mac as well. So if you put on like a do not disturb, it should sync to your Mac. I don't know what you skipped.
I have like my phone goes to fuck off at like 8:30.
Yeah, so your computer should follow the same thing. But if you like need to turn off notifications and stuff, up here in that top right in your control center, you should be able to just hit and turn on, whatever notification
to do. All right, let's go to bed, boys.
So there's a few things that'll be helpful for your next minutes.
Well, I at least learned. I mean, I'm not ready to record at the moment, but I think I can figure it out in the future.
You could. It would take us probably all of 5 minutes of.
I know you want the separate audio tracks, and that clearly didn't seem to be a thing here. So.
Yeah, well, I think it is. I think you just. Do you know how to scroll on a Mac on a web page? Have you figured that out yet? That's it. You just didn't know how to scroll. So on your trackpad, if you put 2 fingers down and
the thumbprint finder.
No, yeah, on your if you just put 2 fingers on, so like open up Safari and go to like what's a page? The New York Times homepage. That'll scroll. Or somewhere where you'd have to scroll, and you put 2 fingers down on the trackpad and push up and down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might have been it then.
Yeah, I think you just didn't scroll the settings page.
That could be. Well,
you just didn't know how to scroll. Poor Keith thinks the trackpad is what he uses for Touch ID, and then also doesn't know how to scroll on the computer, which is crazy. I also like that
I don't know. I'm there again now, and it's not. It's still just. I don't know. It is what it is. Oh, maybe it does say upgrade. No, upgrade would be. I don't want to upgrade. That would
be upgrading your Zoom account.
Yeah, fuck that. Tanner don't pay us enough for that. So Brandon, you got the feel for the podcast now. You're going to be on in a couple weeks, I think, or a month or whatever. So
yeah,
you should know how to and get your mic was non-existent and stuff. So you were definitely.
Oh, that's what. So I had a headset at first, and then I ripped it off because I was cutting in and out.
Yeah.
I felt like I'll get a better headset.
Yep. Just wired headphones work the best, but I don't know what you
had. But
those were ass. So.
All right.
You'll figure it out.
Listen, and hopefully by then Keith knows how to use his computer. So.
Well, somebody might. I mean, I probably won't know how, but Big Stephanie will figure it out for me.
Oh.
Brandon, I don't know where you are out there, but we drove through Bardstown for a while. It's some pretty nice neighborhoods out there.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah, Bardstown. Yeah. It's about a half hour away from me, so it's
okay.
A nice little town. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we went to go get we wanted Korean barbecue, so we went to that top one Korean out there.
Yeah, I've never been there. I need to make a special trip and go out there.
If you've ever been to the K-Pot that's kind of north of there, if you ever been to like a K-Pot, it's the exact same thing, just in a local place, looks like.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that my experience at a K-Pot, 6 months ago, was able to, open up all of the crew's minds. Because none of the crew have ever had Korean barbecue until I had it, and explained to you guys what it was. This
I wish we could have one of those.
Did you go to like a K-Pot kind of thing, Keith, at the Koreans?
I did. Well, so I've done 2. I did a K-Pot with Big Chris in Syracuse, 6 months ago, and then I did the quote unquote mom and pop Korean place that wasn't a barbecue place, but still served all Korean food.
A hot pot, I believe, is the term.
I don't know, but I don't know. Like the one place you could literally grilled your own shit, that was confusing. The other place was, a menu. All right,
it's confusing. You apply heat to food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, the worst was when we didn't find the seasoning until after we ate for an hour, and I was like, oh, some salt would have been nice, and there it is. Fuck.
Salt. I mean, there's more there's so much more options than salt, Keith.
Well, when you're eating a bunch of red meat, a little salt, well, anything, literally anything.
They have sauces and stuff too? Did you not have any of that?
No,
man. You went to K-Pot or a hot pot and just raw dogged all the meat with no seasoning and no sauces. I feel like you should ask for your money back.
Well, big Chris Mark should have explained it better.
Man,
whenever we went there, every time we've gone to one, they're like, All right, have you ever been here before? Yes, we've been here before. All right, well, up there is where the sauce bar is, and up there is where the cold stuff is. Like, yeah, we know. Okay.
Keith, I love the things that we get to unpack. Touch bar, the path, your touch ID is on your touch or trackpad.
Fucking, I'll figure it all out. And
you will. It's great. It'll be a big learning curve switching from Windows to Mac OS.
I mean, we never really, so breaking, I guess we almost have to put it in this podcast because talking about it on the next episode will be pointless to an extent. So we can always clip this in somewhere else. But like breaking news, fuck all you guys. I spent fucking an obnoxious amount of money to buy a new goddamn laptop. So you're welcome. Hopefully this comes in your ears a little bit easier week to week because it definitely came out of my pocket pretty hard. But yeah, so I got a MacBook Air, basically maxed out, refurbished one. So I was out of pocket like 2,200 delivered, and then the motherfucker was supposed to deliver Monday when I was off work. Like it had like set it up like a week ago to deliver on my day off. I was like perfect. At like 5 o'clock that day, I was like, oh, will not deliver today. I'm like, you motherfuckers. And then yesterday they tried to deliver it at like 2:50 or something. And I think Stephanie got home at like 3:30, so we like missed it by a half hour. And then today I was like, well, hopefully it comes. Stephanie was off work today, so she would have been here all day to pick it, like to get it, and then I could have immediately came home and played with it all night before podcasting and learned how to Apple. And it showed up at 6:35, giving me less than an hour to like get it open and figure it out. And the shitty part was I don't even remember clicking OK to do an update. And then it did a half-hour update. So like my hour that I didn't have to learn got cut literally in half. So I had like 20 minutes to try to download some apps, and then learning that like the App Store sucks and doesn't have any of the apps that I actually need. So I'm like, then I'm having to like figure out Safari because I've never used I don't use Safari.
You can use Chrome. There's tons of options.
Well, either way, how the fuck do I guess I could have downloaded Chrome, but I got to figure it all out. So in due time, but I made a large investment into this podcast thing, and hopefully it pans out. So this will allow
large investment into your personal computing experience.
It's that as well, but it'll give us a lot of freedom. So there's weeks if Joey's not available, I don't have to bug Nate to come record at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and then I won't accidentally interrupt podcasts anymore.
I mean, weren't you there the whole time? Like I thought you were there the whole time. You were just quiet.
I was trying to fix our new show manager app because it was preventing certain photos from being uploaded. But that's fixed now.
That's awesome. So did you fix the Joe's 7 different fucking inputs? I think it was just 2. Okay, cool. I got to do that tonight because I have not copied over his show notes yet, and I got to do this whole podcast thing again tomorrow. So if I'm tired on next week's episode, it's because I recorded 2 episodes back to back. But I think we'll be good. This one started a little bit earlier, so I'll actually get some sleep tonight, and yeah, excited for that. Ooh, I actually can see my text on my laptop now. Ooh, who's texting me? That's interesting. Oh.
You could listen, Keith. It starts there, and there's so much more fun. You can literally view your phone on your computer.
I know I was able to do that, but then I didn't see the text.
The phone mirroring thing came with Sequoia, and it is a ridiculous feature that they added.
Because also saved me on the copy and paste. Because I was trying to do a password for fucking Zoom, and it's like 49 fucking letters, and the pass key wasn't set up. You fuck, at least not on mine.
It should be. You just have to set up the syncing so that all your passwords.
You probably have to stick your thumb somewhere that's not on the fucking trackpad.
That's true. But yeah, all your passwords should sync over, and you should just be able to type go to the passwords app and.
It worked on like when I went to go into to Google it automatically. I mean, it took some doing, but Discord I don't think I had because Discord sucked too because I had to like fucking copy and paste Discord.
Well, so there's an app. Keith, another Mac tip: Command Space.
Yeah,
is basically the same thing as swiping down on your phone. It's called Spotlight. And so if you do Command Space and type in passwords. It should launch, and then click enter. You can launch the passwords app, which should have all of those passwords you're looking for on your computer. Also, you shouldn't even need to do screen mirroring because there's a universal copy paste board between your computer and your phone, which is nuts.
Yeah, I need to find out where that is. So.
It's kind of magic.
And is there a way to? And is there not a finger? Is there not a touchpad paste? Do I got to do the fucking control fucking?
No, you can. I mean, I think it's faster to do Command V, Command C, but you can just the 2-finger click is the same as a right click.
Okay.
I don't know. How are you right clicking on your laptop? Did you have a laptop with the 2 split buttons at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 2-finger click is right click.
I'll have to figure all that out.
There's
I'm just gonna throw
a
some.
setting in macOS, I believe, where you can say if I click on the left side of the trackpad, it's a left click, and if I click on the right side of the trackpad, it's a right click. So that's a thing.
There's got to be some YouTube videos of like, I've literally been a PC guy for 30 years. Like I'm 40 and I've definitely had a family computer since we were like 10. So I've only been a PC operator for 30 years. So this is change, no change. Like this is big change. Minnie, are you coming? You're coming out to you're streaming Lift Hard, right?
Yeah, yeah. We're
Awesome.
We're driving up to Sioux Falls Wednesday, and then the last bit on Thursday.
We'll be a little early this week, but maybe we'll see you in 2 weeks. You're gonna be sitting there for a while.
Next week I get to be as old as you.
Oh, congratulations! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Dirty old 40-year-old people.
No, fucking bunch of 40-year-olds.
Yeah, you old farts.
The one funny thing about the bull riding, I think I've shared it on like Instagram, like the only people that did it were like 27 and 28 or something. So like that tracks.
Is Hogan younger than me?
I asked Nicole and she said he was under 30, so I don't know. Maybe he's 29. I don't.
What a weird world.
I know he is under 30.
Hogan, I think it's just because he has a PhD that I feel like Hogan should be substantially older than me.
Well, according to you, I mean, you have 3 kids, so you're very old.
That's true.
Yeah,
I did listen to last week's episode. Well, I listened to last week's unedited. I'm not actually sure what I made the podcast. All right, boys, we're going to bed.
A PhD though, as I tell Rachel, I have a PhD too. Pretty hard dick.
Hey!
Yeah, that's got to make the podcast. Bleep. Honk honk. Good night. I'm never gonna get logged out of this, so I might just have to unplug it and hope it dies. I have no clue how to exit this shit. This is so annoying. Later, Brandon. I'll see you. Good deal.
I just want to sit and wait to see how long it takes to keep up. Oh, you still can't figure it out.
Motherfucker.
Okay,
I did a single click.
Just Command Q.
What's that? Oh, that quits everything. That's right. You told me that.
It'll quit the app.
Oh, leave meeting. Cool. Good night, buddy.
Bye. Hey, it's Big Nate. I'm here alone. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Hong Kong.